in color. All right, let's see what we got on the old bucket list here. That seems needlessly complicated. All right, that's a good one. Got on the old bucket list. Not today. Yeah, gotta do that soon. So that one, I already did that one. That's just kind of silly. It seems more doable than the Ricardo Montalban one. Yeah, I'll get him one day. My heart could use kickstarting. Nah. Yeah, I knew it was on there somewhere.
Chille the Brat will return after these messages.
Hey kids, Delete Laws makes playtime fun with these all new Chille DeCastro dolls. Whether you want to teach constitutional law, file a bogus federal lawsuit, or just hassle some pigs, there's a Chille doll for every occasion. Be the coolest kid in the whole schoolyard. Let your imagination take flight, and let the other kids know who their daddy is. Each Chille doll comes with its own special phrase. Just pull its string to hear it talk.
I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm not just some regular person here. I'll steal your ass until oblivion. You can eat my shorts, copper. I'm not moving. Don't you ever put your hands on a full-grown man, son.
As far as athletic ability, you're just not on my level.
There's nothing down my pants, boys and girls. There's nothing down my pants.
New Chille gender-neutral dolls from Crapco. Trifold not included. For over 100 years, we've been scrunching and folding toilet paper. Finally, there's a better way. The DeCastro wipe, the new, modern solution to a clean butthole.
Can you go ahead and spread your butt cheeks for me?
After use, just press and release the button, and the DeCastro wipe drops right into the toilet where it belongs.
Get in there! Yeet, yeet, yeet!
Think about it. Toilet paper is really archaic and disgusting. The Castro wipe is the modern solution. Ew, so gross.
Well, you better believe I got a big fat ass, and I can't reach. This is my best friend.
It's embarrassing to have someone help you with wiping your own ass. The Castro wipe allows you to maintain your dignity while wiping your ass with Chili's.
The DeCastro wipe, new from Crapco.
We now return to Chille the Brat.
No work, no allowance.
That's not fair!
Don't raise your voice to me. Now you get on out of here. I got things to do. What are you doing now?
I was having a tantrum.
Oh. Well, don't get your clothes all dirty.
Hello, everybody. You're muted, Ram, just so you know.
No, I was trying to figure out what you're talking to me, having to reset everything.
Colin, Project Constitution Campbell, everybody.
There he is.
How you doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Hey, Colin, I don't know if you heard, but Chille's in jail.
He is?
Yeah. Big news, buddy.
Oh, yep. Wow.
Yeah,
honestly,
crazy, huh?
I think the whole world's knowing. You have to be...
I don't know. That fake news is pretty powerful stuff.
Well, you're muted, by the way, Colin, just so you know. Yeah, we have a strange little corner of not even just of YouTube that is super invested in this, but like nobody outside of our world knows a fucking thing about it, really. Although Las Vegas is learning pretty quick, ain't they?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Although, according to Michael Eline, he's a political prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah. According to Michael Eline, he's related to William Wallace. I watched about 5 minutes of that guy before I wanted to launch my lunch. Jesus. Yeah. He said, well, first of all, get this. He says, alpha males like myself and Chille. So not only is he playing along with the Chille's alpha male stuff, he's one of them. He's one of them. Like he's it's in his channel description. If you go over there, his dad was a Marine, I guess, and he passed boot camp, but then there's a secondary school called SOI, which is like, that's the real boot camp. That makes you a combat ready Marine, like an actual Marine. So he med boarded out of that, and I'm not going to cast any aspersions on any of that, but I'm just saying it's kind of funny because in his description, he makes it a point to say, no stolen valor here, but he calls himself an inactive Marine, which is odd, and I don't know what to make of that.
Once a Marine, always a Marine from
right.
what I hear. So.
That's right.
Right. So I don't know if he actually is technically a Marine or what, but I don't know. It's kind of, kind of weird. But anyway, so Colin, how do you figure Chille's holding up there, buddy? Give us some insight into what you think's going on in his brain.
Well, I think when he first went in there, he was just losing his mind, absolutely losing his mind, ready to just, crawl up in a ball in the fetal position, just crying like a little baby. Although as the days go on and he starts to get used to it, and he's got, these people in his ear like Eline and Here's the Deal, talking to him, telling him he's a martyr and this, that, and the other. I think it's just only boosting his ego, and I think he's starting to love it.
Yeah. Now, did you listen to any of the phone calls?
I listened to the first one, and I listened to part of one yesterday.
Yeah, we're in the same boat now. What's his name? Here's the deal. He put it up on he got his whatever technical issues he was having sorted. So he has it up now on his channel. So we were going to watch that because we didn't finish it, and we were only partway through the story. Now we're invested. We know Chille's cellmate is Nick. We don't know what kind of guy Nick is, but we're excited to find out. If you want to pop that up, Ram, if you don't mind, if everybody's cool with watching that.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. And the other question we had for you, Colin, people want to know, are you gonna serve Chille over at the jailhouse with your protection order? If you guys didn't know, Colin took out a protective order against Chille.
He was served with the temporary already, and he will be served. If he hadn't, he may have already been served with the permanent one. But if not, he'll be served within the next day or two.
Did you track him down in LA at his buddy's house, the food truck guy?
Yeah, he didn't like that too much.
He didn't.
I sent process service to a couple places in LA and also in Vegas to his family and his mom. So,
wow.
Yeah. We know he doesn't like that too much, so.
Yeah, who would? All right, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into this.
Guess
phone
what?
Call.
Innocent guys in jail. Do you want to be that innocent guy in jail? No, then listen up, okay? We got the legal aid defense fund for Chille right here. While we're listening to the video, I'm going
Where's
to
he getting
put
the
this
innocent
in the
guy
chat box,
from?
And I'm going to pin it.
Where's he getting innocent guy from?
Yeah, anything I saw, he wasn't innocent.
Yeah. Well, the court found him guilty.
Yeah,
so
that's
there you
Brian.
go.
To the top. If you want to help Chille, I appreciate it. There's a couple ways we can do it. We can do it by helping him monetarily, and we can help him by binge watching his YouTube videos. I would suggest starting with the most popular because those are the most entertaining and the most informative, and we can keep his channel going while he's in prison. If this was what you would want done to you if you were in prison, then maybe we should do this to him. Okay, so let me get my. Oh yeah. I got to bring this up.
We criminals have to support each other.
Okay. So we're going to listen to this in its entirety. As long as this is good, we're going to be good. I'm going to play it in its entirety, and then I'll come back and talk with you. This is Chille. He recorded this on Sunday night for you guys so he could let you know what's going through his mind and what's happening in jail, and maybe try to empathize with him and put yourself in his shoes. Is this the situation you would want to be in? Let's go.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
To Team DLZ, today is Sunday, March 24th, 2024. This is officially my 5th day in jail. I want to explain to you how this place works a little bit. So when I was intaked from the courtroom into the jail, they put me in the torture cuffs, and the bailiff, who I had called a pig, put the torture cuffs on nice and tight. And
Yeah,
you
we
look
saw.
at the room that's dark oak and black, and there's black robes and deep red overtones in the room. And ironically, just less than 40 feet away, there's a door that leads to the dungeon. And when they open the door, it's all white with a stripe that goes around the room. And the room's 12 feet by 8 feet deep. And they put you in there in the torture cuffs, and they shut the door. You look around, and there's nothing there but you. And then maybe a minute
Very
later,
deep,
the
Chille.
bailiffs came in and immediately began to pat me down briskly as though they were giving me a terrible massage from my ankles up to the top of my hair. Their hands are coursing over my body, and they're feeling every single inch of my pants, my suit jacket. They begin to crumple it.
I'd like to point out that you probably liked every minute of that.
It's like a
Yeah.
fucking romance novel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's going into an awful lot of detail.
Yeah, an awful lot.
Unnecessary detail.
Please, the torture cuffs are tight. We don't have to like each other, but you don't have to torture me. And he says, you'll be out of them in a minute.
Isn't that a country
And he says, I'm
song?
going to bring your lawyer in. They leave as quickly as they came in, and then the lawyer comes in, and Michael Mee, his face is red, and he's disoriented, and I look at him, and I actually say to him, are you okay? He says, I'm okay, and I look at him,
why
and I say,
is he red
what
and
happens now? How do we get me out of here? And he said, I'll file an appeal with the district court. And then I said, how
Good
long?
luck,
Michael?
motherfucker.
So it'll take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
For what?
I'm
With what?
going through shock, and at the same time, then the two bailiffs come in and say, what do you want us to do with your phones? And I said, I don't know. And then I said, just give them to my lawyer. So my lawyer takes my phones, and then they take me down a corridor that no one has access to. The walls still have like the house being built where there's still paste and covering of the nails with the stucco, and they take me down the hallway, and then I'm in the dungeon. And as soon as I enter into the dungeon, it's this, there's, hundreds of people there, and there's half of them or more are people in these shackles. They're in chains. They got a chain around their waist, torture cuffs on each wrist, and the shackles are attached to the chain. And then
were they singing
through and they
spirituals?
say, let's switch him up. So then they bring me over, and they take the torture
I can
cuffs
see
off.
Slim
Take
Pickens
off your
circling
jacket.
them on a
I take off
horse.
my jacket, and then
Right.
they say, all right, take off your shoes. I take off my shoes, one shoe, one sock.
Wait,
And then they take a flashlight, and they look at my feet, and they roll my pant leg up, and then they take me from there, and they say, take off your overshirt and just wear your overshirt. Get rid of your white T-shirt because it's going to be cold. So then I take off both shirts, and then I put the button on, the white button up. My suit pants are fairly new, so is my shirt's brand new. And so then I'm just wearing orange, like water shoes, and then I'm wearing my slacks and my button-up white dress shirt. And then they take me over to medical, and they take my blood pressure, and my blood pressure is 170 over 110. And she says, well,
They
do you have
said I
high blood
still
pressure?
wasn't
And I
okay
said,
to fight
I used
Chad
to.
Gu.
I took care of it. I said, isn't that pretty high? And she said, it's not so high, understanding the circumstances. And then I say, understanding the circumstances. She says, yeah, in the situation that you're in now, it's expected your blood pressure is going to be a little high. And I said,
that would
that
be
really
fucked.
high? She said, you'll be okay. And then they take me from there in shackles.
How much you
and they
want
sit me down on a
to
bench,
bet
and they shove me into a chair.
Chille try to get him taken to the hospital?
In this chair, and then
can
I
you
look over
stop
to
for a
the
second,
people,
Ram?
and I say, hey, was your blood pressure?
What's that, Colin?
How much you want to bet that Chille tried to get him to take him to the hospital?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, was he fishing for a high blood pressure Chad Gu style diagnosis?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, good point.
Specific gravity, the dancing dragon. Thank you.
I need to go take a huge chili and wipe my DeCastro. Why? I certainly hope you ordered your DeCastro wipes.
Yeah.
From Amazon. Thanks for the $5, man.
Yeah, let me put the link up there to those ass wipes.
Yeah, right.
Wow, Jersey Bob, I really appreciate that super chat. Please, you guys, give your support to Chille. Okay, this right here is a fundraiser for Chille. That $50, Jersey Bob, I'll make sure that Chille gets it. But you got to realize when you send a super chat through this platform right here, YouTube takes 40 or 50% right off.
Yeah,
the top.
go to
So
that
it'd be better to
PayPal,
give to
boys
him
and
through his
girls.
GoFundMe because they only take 2.3%. And also, I just wanted to tell you, when I get done playing this message to you from Chille, I'm going to go over. I'm going to refresh this GoFundMe, and anybody who gave $20 or more, I'm going to read your name or your message or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do as soon as we get done with this.
Can somebody send them a new picture to
Thank you guys so much for coming
GoFundMe?
back. It's humbling. I appreciate it, and we're going to get back into this.
And they say, yeah. And I said, did she say to you it's not high for the circumstances? And they said yes. And then I asked multiple people, and they say yes. And then I go into a holding cell, and I'm in this holding cell. I get in there maybe around 3 or 4 o'clock, and I'm in this holding tank until 4 o'clock in the morning. You can lay down, but it's freezing cold. And so then I'm in the holding cell for 12, 15 hours. I don't know how long. And then they say you're transferred upstairs, and I go upstairs, and now this is a room. It's a big room, like a big auditorium room. There's stainless steel tables in the middle with stainless steel stools that go around them, and there's probably 4 of them, and there's 6 or 8 stools at each table. So there's maybe 50 people considered these 4 tables, and around the room are doors. I don't know where those doors lead. So now at this point, I have to take off all my clothes, drop them into a bag,
Here
and
we
walk
go.
into the shower area. And I go into the shower, and the guard tells me, go in there and shower, drop all your clothes outside, put them in a bag. And so I do that. We don't put them in bags until I go in the shower. And then they come around, they take the bag, so you're buck naked in the shower. And then I take a shower.
Yeah.
And then the guard comes around, he says, all right, open your mouth. I open my mouth. He says, all right, turn around, spread your butt cheeks, squat, and cough. I don't. I just turned around, tapped the sides of my butt cheeks, and and the guard was about 70, and he's like, good enough. And
Yeah.
then
Never on a first date.
I'm wearing the exact same clothes.
He's just
Chille's dream date.
just sizing it up at that point anyway.
As much as he talks about it, that's his dream date.
Yeah. No kidding.
Put on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Then this is called isolation for 24 to 48 hours. It's rooms of 1 or 2 people. For me, it's going to be 2. And so I go to this. He says your name, DeCastro, inmate number. I now have it memorized, 1669561. And then I go, and he says, you and you go to room number 37. I'm walking to the room, and the guy next to me passes me. And I guess he's in a hurry to get to the room. We walk into the room. He goes to the 2 bunks. He grabs the 2 mattresses, looks at them, picks the mattress he wants, puts it on the bottom bunk, and then throws the other one on the upper bunk. Then takes the sheets we got and the blanket, quickly makes himself a bed, gets in the bed, and puts the covers over his head. It was kind of like a surreal moment. I was like, all right. So then I said, hey, man, I'm Chille. Nice to meet you. He said, Nick. I said, man, this is hell. And he said, not as bad as war. I said, all right. And then he continued to stay under the covers. Then I put my sheets on my 1-inch thick mattress. And then I lay down up there, and you're in this room that's 5.5 feet, 6 feet wide by 8 feet deep. 2 of us, and there's a metal stainless steel shitter there, and on the back of the shitter is a drinking fountain, and that's the water you're going to have to drink. I'm there for maybe 2 minutes, and the door comes and opens. The guy says, DeCastro, you're not in this cell. And then I'm taken out of that cell, and I'm put in room 23, and I remember thinking it was Michael Jordan's number. One of the largest investors in prisons in America is Michael Jordan. So I go into number 23, and there's nobody there but me. So I take both mattresses, I put them on the lower bunk because the window's on the upper bunk, and that's where the sun comes in. But this particular room doesn't face the sun; it faces another building. So I'm grateful for that.
How does he know all
so
this?
I take 2 mattresses, I lay them down.
Well, he's got a photographic memory.
Yeah, bow, chicka, bow, wow. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. We have a lawyer in the house, it looks like.
and I try to sleep, but I can't. So I start to do stretches. I'm doing stretches in counts of 30. I do every single kind of stretch I can do. I'm pacing back and forth. I stretch. I do 200, 300 push-ups. I do handstand push-ups. I do the burpees. I do mountain climbers. Doing anything I can to get the time to pass.
Now, Ram.
By so slow.
Ram,
And
stop for a second.
Then,
first of all, Paul also did another super chat that said this speech can also be found on ManHub
right.
for $2.
Thank you, Paul.
If you want it, yeah. So, Colin, a lot of people insinuate that Chille might be a little on the tweaky side. What's your experience with that? If you can speak to it, if not, you don't have to. But you think he's coming down off of something that's contributing to it?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I think he's coming down off of weed for sure, possibly other things. I know he was on psych meds. He was on a bunch of psych meds, but
well, they should. I mean, if he makes them aware of that, I believe they have to provide those for him.
Right.
Well, what I'm getting at is he's been off his meds for a while. That's part of why he's been going like a nut lately.
Extra goofy. Well, I've been saying like the last couple months, he's really starting to come unhinged, man.
Exactly.
But, as I've always said, Chille needs deep, intensive therapy.
Hey, Colin, it makes me think of something because I'm going to ask you at some point tonight, and now's as good as any. When he did that bicycle ride in Houston, you remember that? Were you with him then?
I don't think I was with him then, but I do remember it.
Right.
When he got hit in the head, people were throwing stuff at him.
Yeah, shooting a pellet gun at him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Great video. He was so wound up in that video. I just wondered if you were around him, if he was doing blow at the time, because it sure acted like it, that or meth or something. He was. I don't think I'd ever seen him that wound, and he gets pretty wound.
He's absolutely becoming more and more unhinged. It's you've seen it. His appearance is kind of shocking, actually. But I was just thinking while I was watching that, Chille never would have made it in the military either.
Oh, hell,
because he just described like my living conditions on a boat. Of course, I wasn't in prison or jail because I'm not a dick. But
boat's not far from it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like you sleep 3 guys stacked up, and it's definitely a 1-inch mattress, and you got a little curtain there, and and you got you got a little privacy in the bathroom.
Yeah, Gia, you're right. Narcissistic personality disorder gets worse as they age. You're absolutely right. I'm dealing with that right now, as a matter of fact. And then somebody else said Adderall.
Yeah,
Adderall is the one thing that I know that he did take, and I know as far as I know, he abused it because he's used to snort it.
That's abusing it.
Yep.
I don't understand that these they take something like an Adderall that's buffered and snort it, and I was prescribed Adderall once and hated it because I'm high strung anyway. I was like, no, this is not for me. I need to go the other direction, and wound me up like a Swiss clock. But the one thing I do remember, they were blue. And I've seen these people now. The big thing is smoking it, but I've seen these people down around the homeless shelter and stuff, and they'll have yellow or blue around their nose. It's like you're snorting a buffered pill because it doesn't all break down. It just cakes on their nose. I just don't understand it. That's one of the reasons it's buffered, because it doesn't work very well that way.
Exactly.
Theoretically.
Cool. Let's get back to this.
Let's get back to it. We got a schedule.
Yeah, the situation that you're in now, it's expected your blood pressure is going to be a little high. And I said, but isn't that really high? She said, you'll be okay. And then they take me from there in shackles, and they sit me down on a bench, and then they shackle me into a chair. And then I have to sit in this chair, and then I look over to the other people, and I say, hey, was your blood pressure high?
Wow, Jersey Bob, I really appreciate that super chat. Please, you guys,
Say hi to your brother Mike.
Stainless steel tables in the middle with stainless steel stools that go around them, and there's probably 4 of them, and there's 6 or 8 stools at each table, so there's maybe 50 people consider these 4 tables. And around the room are doors. I don't know where those doors lead, so now at this point I have to take off all my clothes, drop them into a bag, and then walk into the shower area. And I go into the shower, and the guard tells me, go in there and shower, drop all your clothes outside, put them in a bag. And so I do that. We don't put them in bags. I go in the shower, and then they come around. They take the bag, so you're buck naked in the shower. And then I take a shower, and then the guard comes around. He says, "All right, open your mouth." I open my mouth. He says, "All right, turn around, spread your butt cheeks, go out."
Yeah, I heard all this shit.
Yeah.
Out of just prisons and jails. So the DNA test that they put through the state legislature here in Nevada means that they can hold you for 3 days, meaning that each jail prison that holds you for 3 days can bill the state for 3 days, at least of DNA testing. So that's why Roy is being held, really. He's being held because it's going to be a financial boom for the jail or prison industry. If the cops charge you with a felony here in Nevada, it's a mandatory DNA test. Now, remember, I don't have a computer in front of me. I'm just going by memory. So Roy is in my cell now, and I've been in the cell alone for 16, 17, 18 hours. I don't know how long. I can't keep track of time. There's no clock. Roy gets in my cell, and I immediately begin to chatter to him like a school kid on a playground. I talk for 10 minutes straight. Finally, I say to him, "Roy, look at me. Nobody will look
That's
you
a
in the
good way to
eye.
get your
None of the
cellmate
jailers
to
will
hate
look
your
at you.
guts and be ready to
You're
beat the
treated
crap
like
out of
you
you.
are
Seems like it.
cattle with a dollar sign on your back. It's not that the guards are cruel. They're indifferent. They don't care. They don't give a damn. You have to follow a system, and they are flowing you
Thank you, Bandit 2804. Appreciate that very much.
through, and this is the money for the state of Nevada. And if you in any way, shape, or form get in the way of that money, they will deal with you. Under the 1980 case of Johnson versus Glick, the guards are to maintain order, and they can use reasonable force, objective reasonable force, to maintain that order. Now here in this particular jail, they have banned the chokehold and they've banned the chair, that torture chair that we see in so many videos. So now Roy is in there, and I finally tell him after 10 minutes of me talking, I say, "Roy, please look at me." And he finally looks at me, and I say, "Man, connect with me, bro. Talk to me for a minute."
Oh my God.
It's the first human moment I've had in over 24 hours.
Touch it, Billy.
And I immediately break down and tell him, "I shouldn't
Break
be in
back
here, Roy."
mountain.
And then he says, "Neither should I, man." And he's an only child. He's a black man, and he's a strong person. And he says to me, "Chille, you need to be strong and you need to hold it together." I said, "I'm gonna hold it together, but for the love of God, man, we need human connection. If we don't have human connection, we are going to fail in here." And for the first time, Roy says to me, "I know it." He says, "Damn it, I know it." And then he starts to talk, but he hadn't said a word. He just was all locked up inside. And then for the next maybe 30 minutes, we have this really human conversation.
Yeah, NorCal Cop Watch just made a really good point in the chat. He says Chille was attacked and arrested for filming the police. Chille was convicted because the judge ruled on her feelings and not the law. And clearly, Chille obeyed both directives to not only step back, but he obeyed the directive to stop
back
talking
to the call. I don't want to listen to this jack off.
And here, what's going to
Now we have to have a conversation that no two men should ever have to have.
Oh, that's
and I
getting
say to
close.
Roy,
Oh my God.
"Listen, do you have to use the bathroom?" And he says, "Actually, I do. I need to use the restroom soon." And so then
That's weird. Did he ask the guy, "Do you have to use the restroom anytime soon?" That is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, analyze this.
Neither one of us should actually be in jail at all whatsoever. Roy doesn't have a real criminal record, and I don't have any criminal record. They've looked me up here all the time.
Oh my
I
God.
don't have a criminal record.
What the
Delusional.
This is crazy.
Besides being before 21 years old. I'm 49 now. So I say to Roy, "Listen, if you have to use the restroom, just let me know, and I will plug my ears and I'll turn away. And he said, and I'll flush right away. If you have to use the restroom. And then we say, I say to him,
as opposed to
while you're doing it.
Opposed to getting a drink of water at that time.
Kidding me? No way.
TMI,
Wow.
man. TMI. When they start filling in all those spaces with that kind of shit, he's full of it.
Hey,
Yeah, and that's also a good point. PC, no law with punishments.
Go to the bathroom and you have to go poop. No other man should have to listen to another man crackle and pop as they take a shit in the toilet. No.
Grow a pair,
should
dude.
have to listen to another man crackle and pop as they take a shit. And we both laugh for the first time that we've been in there. We both laugh and say that.
Dude, you'd have to yell for courtesy flushes in the
heard.
Navy. You know what I mean? Like, you had not only had to hear it, you had to smell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got a term in there called put some cut on it. The whole time you're going, you're supposed to be flushing it the whole time you're going to get rid of the smell.
His black cellmate obviously is not familiar with his TikTok career.
Oh, he's not familiar with anything. Chille's going to try and pull a snow job on him.
Yeah, I bet he's in ISO. There's no roommate. There's no nothing.
I say it's a pet peeve of mine when I go into these restaurant stalls in the bathroom, and they don't play music in the bathroom. You have to go to the bathroom, but there is a sound to going poop. And he says, yeah, there's a sound to going poop. There is.
This is a deep psychological issue.
You're put into a situation like we are. You have no choice but to talk about the most human of function, the despair of explaining to another person that they shouldn't have to hear you go to the bathroom. And that's what we have to talk about.
Wow.
And so then it's maybe 20 minutes after that. I don't know because there's no way to keep track of time. You're looking out the window for people who are coming in.
Thanks, Dave, for the $5. Says, can I press the X to doubt this entire line of BS? He's living in the Zorro world. Yes, that's Chille for us.
Yeah, this is off the fucking rails.
Yeah, it's just yeah, like I said, it's like listening to a kid tell a story to cover something up.
Yeah, the story you make up
all superfluous bullshit in there. It's just
it gets more and more unbelievable as you go.
You look out that window too long, a little tiny window, 4 inches wide by maybe 24 inches tall, and the guards do not.
He's good with measurements. I'll give him that.
Push a light. And if you push that light, don't push the light. Unless it's a medical emergency, you don't push that light. Because there's only one guard out there, and it's a great, big, huge auditorium with those 50 seats I told you about. But we're on 24 to 48-hour lockdown as we're processed in. And I'm literally losing my mind inside of this room. And so Roy says to me, okay, Chille, I have to go to the bathroom. And so at that point, I get on the lower bunk, I plug both my ears, and I start to hum.
Oh my God.
With my ears plugged, because I really don't want to hear another man go to the bathroom.
Wow.
And I hear the slosh of the toilet.
I got a break there. Billy Yank, thank you. Has Chille never been in a public restroom?
Yeah. Man.
Oh, man. This is so much bullshit. It's not.
I literally am speechless.
Yeah.
This phone call is comedy gold.
This is crazy.
It's like a tornado. It's like a hurricane inside of a stainless steel can. And then I hear a moment later,
Roy,
and then I'm still humming. And then I hear Roy say, "Hey man, you can stop humming now." And
where'd that go? Where'd they go? Who said that? It went flying by the chat so fast. It said, "Then Roy kissed me." Where it went. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, man. Sounds like he really doesn't like it in there. Make better choices then. That's right, buddy. That's right. I don't know who it was that said that a minute ago. It went flying by so fast, but that was perfect timing.
And so I unplug my ears and I turn around and he's gone to the bathroom in maybe a minute, maybe 1 minute. Now, every man over 40 years old knows that when you go to the bathroom as a man, you sit down on the toilet. Sometimes it's even better than sex to sit down on the toilet when you're over 40 years old to let your bowels relax and you can sit there and take a shit. And
Especially when you got hemorrhoid.
This is the actual process of the dungeon, and you need to hear it. You need to hear that there's no decency.
You go,
No,
Yvonne.
no, we really don't need to hear it. But
You go, Yvonne. Get fired up.
We're gonna hear it.
That every bit of pride is stripped from you, that you are broken down to the most disgusting level that you could possibly even imagine, where you have to talk to another man about how you're going to go to the bathroom in front of him.
Oh my God.
He goes, he gets up, and then he says to me,
You
let
would
me know
not
if you
made
have to go. And I
one
say,
day
I've been
in boot
limiting my
camp.
food intake. I've been eating very tiny portions, and I've been working off the food, so I haven't had to go to the.
Hey, if I miss a super chat, I'll get back to it. I promise. I will get back to it.
And we got Rico. We got
Now,
Rico backstage too.
After that,
Right.
I don't know how many minutes,
Keep it
hours, I don't
moving.
know. But then the guard comes out to the middle of the auditorium and starts to speak. And he says, listen to me. Everybody come to the glass. And so Roy and I go to the glass, and he says, do not push the light on the door. If you push the light on the door and it's not a medical emergency, I'm going to come in there and get you out of there and lock you down. You understand? You think this lockdown's bad? It's not going to be a tenth of what we're going to go through if you push that light on that button, on that door, and it is not a medical emergency. Now, I'm going to serve food. When I come to the door, you are back by your bunks. We will drop the food off by the door. You can come to the door and grab it after we are gone. Do you understand? Knock on the door. So we knock. It wasn't a knock. It was something else. I don't think he said that. I don't think he said knock. I think my brain's just filling in holes. But
You
I don't
think?
he said knock. I think he just said, do you understand? And that was it. He didn't want any communication back from us.
I
My
think
brain
he
is
has a lot of holes in
trying
his
to
brain that need
remember
filling.
everything detail by detail. All the days and nights are run together. I was arrested on Tuesday afternoon. I think today's Sunday, 24th, and I finally last night slept for the first time 6 hours straight. Before that, it was an hour here, 2 hours there, an hour here, 2 hours there. So then a little bit of time passes, and then they say, then they call names. They call my name to Castro. And so then I go out, and we all go down to the table. He says, you're moving cells. You're going over to this holding cell instead of the one you're in with Roy, 23. So I grab my blanket, I grab the mat I was using, and I grab my pillow, and I bring everything over to the other bunk, to the other holding tank that's the same, 5.5 feet by 8 feet. Now, when I do that, I have 2 mats. Okay, here it goes. Now, the guard says you guys have 15 minutes to use the phones, and then
Yvonne says, I'm traumatized. I need therapy.
Yeah, I think we all are. Hey,
Thank you,
I
Yvonne.
think Rico's backstage.
Yeah, is he ready to
Brett.
come up?
Yeah, we can if you guys don't mind, we'll do the second part of this afterwards, but I don't want to make Rico wait.
Yeah, I don't think he
and-
was expecting to sit back there more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't want to keep him back there, and I want to also have him share all this stuff with us.
Yeah, he's got to be loving. He's got to be loving this shit too.
It's good. So bring him up whenever you get.
I did.
Whenever he's there. Oh, I can't see it because Yvonne's comments in the way. What's up, Rico?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you guys ready for me now?
Wow. Rico, everybody. That was awesome.
Oh, bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that before, and hearing it again only makes it worse.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree fully, man.
There's so much to unpack with Chille, man. It's just like levels.
It's not worth the effort.
Levels of weird and crazy and just bleh. I
The
mean, he
delusions
literally
are
would
real.
not make he literally would not make it one single day in boot camp. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
not at all.
yeah. So guys, we have some exciting news.
Gia, thank you very, very much. Rico,
Oh, yeah.
I love you.
I second that, man. Rico, you're the man.
Nice.
Thank
So,
you, Gia.
yeah, thanks, Gia. Gia's awesome. We love Gia.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yes, she is.
So do you want to take it, Rico?
Sure. I'm going to tell you a little story. Somewhere right now in Los Angeles County, someone is filming a video or a movie. It's getting to be a little bit dark out, so they're having to put some lights up, unless they're out in San Fernando Valley, and then they're probably in a bedroom and they have a different kind of lighting set up. But anyways, somewhere in San Fernando Valley, somewhere they're shooting a movie. And pretty much anywhere in LA County, before you shoot a movie or a video, you're almost always required to get a film permit. And a film permit requires you to kind of describe what you're going to do, maybe get some insurance, talk about maybe some streets you might have to close, and give an overall idea of what you're going to do. And there are different zones in LA. If you go on the LA film permit website, there's probably about 50 different zones in LA, and it describes the specific things you have to do for each zone. But one of the big things you do have to do for sure, if you're going to shoot a movie or a video, is have some insurance. Because if you have an accident, somebody's going to have to pay for it. So hypothetically, if you were to look on the PDOC's website right now, about a half hour ago, some documents went up. It's the main thing on the PDOC's website right now. You'll see that in March of 2022, there was a vehicle accident. And it occurred in an area that our friend, Mr. DeCastro, uses pretty regularly for shooting some of his Delete Laws videos. It can be recognized in the background of a lot of his videos. It's the ones that he stages. And I think you might be able to put it up now. I think I sent you a link to one of the ones he did in March of 2022. So if you look at these documents, and we're not 100% sure saying that this is how this accident happened, but it's pretty consistent, because if you look at the does, you look at the name, first of all, there's two names, and two people are accused of operating a vehicle at the same time. That's pretty unusual. How are two people accused of operating one vehicle at the same time? And they are accused of causing a motor vehicle accident with general negligence. The plaintiff has suffered wage loss, loss of use of property, hospital and medical expenses, general damage, loss of earning capacity, future loss of earnings, future medical bills, future pain and suffering. So it's not just like a little fender bender. Somebody got hurt kind of significantly. There are two plaintiffs listed in this for a vehicle accident that happened on March 19th, 2022, near the intersection of Wilton Place and Santa Monica Boulevard. You can go on a lot of his videos and look at the intersection of Wilton Place, and you'll see a wall that has kind of an ivy covered background, and that's a background that you'll see in a lot of his videos. So not saying 100% that this was caused during the filming of one of his videos, but how do you get two people operating one vehicle at the same time? And it is kind of unusual that does 1 to 100 are listed. The defendants who employed the persons who operated a motor vehicle in the course of their employment are Andreas Mejia and Jose de Castro. And if you look at a couple of his videos, I think I sent DB a link to one of the videos. Andreas Mejia.
Yeah, Ram, you want to pop that trifold video up, buddy?
Andreas Mejia appears to be, and this is all extremely
he
hypothetical.
Is the foreign,
and
yeah, he's the foreign guy from his trifold videos.
Yeah, he's the actor that plays the victim when Chille is playing the cop. So the actual full circumstances of the accident have not been put up onto the website for the Superior Court, but you can infer a lot of things. Again, this is all conjecture. None of it is 100%, but it's consistent with the intersection where a lot of these videos have been recorded in the past. So it's unfortunate that somebody got hurt, and it appears, based on this and very a preliminary review of it, it's very weird to have two people listed as operating the vehicle at the same time. So if Ram throws up that video, it'd be kind of fun to watch. It's one of many videos that has been filmed in that area around that same time. Some of them have been taken down. Some of them were taken down after this happened, and some of them are still up.
So that right there is Andreas.
I would hate to think that some of the money that's being asked for is being directed towards this without honesty, truth, and transparency involved for where the money's really going, which could be maybe hypothetically, I don't know, used to defend a civil lawsuit that he's not talked about. It looks like it has some significant damages, but I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't know these things. Again, it's all hypothetical, but it certainly is weird that two people are listed as operating a vehicle that caused very significant possible future loss of earnings, future medical bills, future pain and suffering for a poor person who is driving near the intersection of Wilton Place and Santa Monica Boulevard in March of 2022.
So you with him at that time, Colin, working with him?
March of 20. No, I don't think I didn't start with him until I think October of 22.
But you've never heard anything about this, right?
No, he's never mentioned a thing to me.
I wonder why. So yeah, let's go ahead and play a little.
And he's made a lot of other videos with Andreas since then as well.
Oh yeah, are they still up on Delete Laws?
As far as I know, like the one, the newest one he did was wide angle camera or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Let's roll it.
And I live in the United States of America, and I have been here for about 15 years. I don't know much about the laws or anything related to the police.
License and registration. Thank you very much. Where are you going?
Officer, I have the right to remain silent. When I get pulled over by the police, I don't understand anything about the laws. I don't understand anything about the police system. So when I get pulled over and they ask me a question, basically all the answers are here.
What am I reading? You have the right to remain silent. But you're not under arrest. I'm not arresting you. I'm asking you just where you're heading. Where you going?
It's right there. You can read it. It's right there.
Are you nervous? Is that
No.
something?
Hey, P-Doc.
You need medical attention?
Not at all.
Hey, P-Docs.
Why would you choose to remain silent? I'm just asking you where you're going.
I have the right to remain silent, officer. It's all right there. I'm here alone. I moved here when I was 19 years old. I get pulled over all the time, and it's always very scary to get pulled over, especially as an immigrant. The presence of a police officer in your life as an immigrant in the United States, it's not pleasant.
Right, but you're not under arrest or anything. This is just a traffic stop. Where are you going?
You can read this, officer.
You're not being a witness against yourself. I'm just asking you where you're going. Is everything... Where are you going?
I have the right to remain silent, officer.
It sounds like you got an accent. You're not from here. Where are you from?
If they ask me something I don't have to answer, I can just tell them to read this.
Smells like I smell marijuana in the car.
Let's say the police officer says, I smell marijuana. You don't have to answer. You can just show this to him and he can read it, or you can read these words. You can read this, officer. A police officer always asks you a question and we don't know the answers. We don't even know what to say. For instance, they say, don't film me, because filming police officers is very common nowadays.
Hey, listen, don't film me. I don't want to be filmed.
Right here, officer.
What What does that say?
You can read it.
But I don't want to be on film. Listen, just do me a favor. Just open up your glove box right there. Let me take a look inside that glove.
Please, you can read this right here. Right here.
Yeah.
And you have the right to film them. So that's why this is so helpful.
You know, I think I'm going to search this car, Mr. Mejia. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search this vehicle.
This is amazing.
You know, the one thing that's interesting is Chille is not the worst actor in Los
I got
Los
probable
Angeles.
cause because
Yeah.
you're not answering any questions. I've asked you where you're going.
But to be clear, he sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's a different issue.
I'm not accusing you of a crime. I'm asking you where you're going. Where are you going? Just tell me where you're going. Just tell me where you're going. This whole thing can be over.
If they ask for your ID, that's the first thing they do. You can answer this. The presence of a police officer in your life as an immigrant in the United States.
You know, I just need to see your ID real fast.
Don't give him your ID.
Ma'am, he's not your lawyer. I need to see your ID.
Officer, read this.
I love how frustrated Chille
I don't understand anything
throughout the
about the
video.
laws. I don't understand
As it
anything
goes
about,
along, he
you know,
gets more
the
and more
police
frustrated.
system.
Let me have some ID, ma'am. Give me your ID.
No.
Give me your
no
ID.
ID.
Let
No.
me talk.
No.
Interrupting police
Wow.
is your right given by God.
No sound guy that day.
You get detained, you get arrested nowadays for everything.
Sir, you can film all you want, but I can't have you parked on the highway here.
I can park on the highway, officer.
Can't you see you're impeding traffic right now? I need you to get off the highway.
I can park
Amazing
on
he
the
hasn't gotten
highway,
anybody
officer.
killed with
Listen,
one of
I
those
need you to
things.
get your van off the highway.
I can just tell them to read this, or I can read it for them. Officer, I revoke consent. You cannot
There
search
it
my
is.
car.
Dramatic zoom. Yes.
Fine.
So
Hey,
this is
Tina.
helpful. It brings peace of mind to have this in my car with me because I honestly don't know what to answer.
Okay, sir. It looks
No,
like
fuck you, officer. Fuck you, piece of shit. You're a cunt. You're trying to inspect my car for no reason. Fuck you, okay? You piece of shit.
Watch your mouth or I will arrest
I
you.
don't have to watch my mouth, okay? I don't have to watch my mouth. If it says, for instance, watch your mouth, then this is the answer that you need to give him. 1971, Colin versus California, okay? By choosing these words, you get to know the depth of my feelings. Fuck you, officer. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You're a cunt. That's not a threat.
I
That is
wonder
not a
how much
threat.
of that was
This is what I
real.
tell
You
them if
probably
they
like
say,
telling
"Is this a
Chille
threat?"
F you.
I read this to them or I let them read it. 1942, Chaplinsky. I can and will use any words or set of words that I feel are appropriate fighting words are clearly not the words I'm using.
Clearly.
Yes. Sound like you're real happy, aren't you?
Me too.
No, man, you're
So
killing me.
let's say if they ask me something I don't have to answer, I can just tell them to read this, or I can read it for them. And this is how you protect yourself. I usually just keep this in handy.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
keep this in my car, and every time I get pulled over, this is like my best friend.
Oh my God. Bravo, bravissimo. Encore, encore. Wow. Holy moly. Wow. Amazing production value. I think that's good enough. I think the rest of it's pretty much this bullshit. Wow, kids.
So again, the scenario we're laying out is all theoretical, but if you overlay this video and overlay the situation in the court documents,
which
it's not hard.
Yeah, that's the same time period he filmed that as the accident would have occurred, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, and you can see he's not shutting the street down like you're supposed to do for a real production. And there's a lot of little film LA. It's called Film LA, which
that was definitely not a permit shoot.
Chille does not do permits or anything at all. You know that.
No. Yeah. So there's a very real possibility Chille had this negligent driving situation and got into it while he was dressed up like a cop like that. That'd have been something to see.
Yeah, for real.
So the bigger question is, and again, it's all hypothetical.
Yes.
Is this need for money tied for court stuff, or is for the criminal cases, or is this need for money tied for the civil case? That will remain to be seen.
You know, that's a very, very good question. Any Chille followers care to hazard any guesses? Perhaps you should ask him about it. I guess you can't really ask.
It's probably a bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what his, finances look like, how that all gets keep track for him. I think, it just all ends up in Chille's bank account somehow.
It does. It 100% does. He does not have finance. He does not have his business expenses separated from his personal expenses. It's just all a mess, and he just commingles funds all together.
Amen, Mr. Shigura. $1.99. Round of applause for Rico, a true G. Yeah, that was, not only did he bring us the information, that was a great little story. You framed it as like a story.
Absolutely. Supporting as usual.
And unlike Chille's little jail stories over the phone, that one was pleasant to listen to and had a point. So thank you. Appreciate it.
We're here to serve.
Yes. I think it'd be very interesting if someone were to make the plaintiff's lawyers aware of Chille's continued history of negligent driving vis-a-vis driving while live streaming, and the fact that he still has 100 live videos up of him doing that. And some of them, he says, I don't care that I'm doing it. He's lucky. And another one, I think you guys have probably seen the clips in some of my videos. He hydroplanes all over the place while he's live streaming in the rain, pouring down. And well, that's the only place you hydroplane, I guess. But and he's like, oh, that was terrifying. Holy shit. I can't believe. He's got a history. And I did also submit those requests for driver reevaluations from the state. I sent them to the California DMV along with copies of all his videos. Now, I knew probably nothing would come of that, but the reason I did that and the reason I reported all his videos on YouTube is now I have a trail saying, people have been warned about this guy. And so I would think an attorney would be kind of interested in that information. Were they involved in this type of lawsuit against somebody for negligent driving?
What are you talking about? He says the car drives itself.
Right. Yeah. So
there's also been videos of him road raging while driving too, going down the road, yelling at people in the road, cutting people off and stuff also.
I can't imagine that.
I have a devastating montage of his horrifying driving that I would be more than happy to share with anybody.
Sorry it took so long to get to you, Danny. I tried to get in a couple times, but I'm fighting against 3 of them.
Chapito the gay wannabe goblin. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Rico, I haven't seen the on PDocs yet, but do we have the facts yet? Do we know any of the facts of what they're alleging in the case?
No,
not yet.
Gotcha.
So again, this is all laying the area, laying the video, and laying the very minimal facts that are just on the civil cover sheet together. So it could be something happened as they left the area. It could be something happening. The dates are not exactly the same. So it looks like he went back to film some more stuff after the video that he did here. And that probably didn't work out, is what I'm thinking.
Something we definitely need to keep an eye on and do some more research about.
I certainly hope one of Chille's little followers will let him know where everybody heard this wonderful information from. Because that's why I got into doing these videos, was to quit him driving like an asshole, and I'm not, and Stone Vet kind of chastised me a little bit, he kind of felt it was snitching in a sense. Look, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not, this is not like a supermarket Karen situation. This guy, it was sooner or later, he's going to kill somebody in his car. And
no, he's dangerous.
And I have a very personal reason attached to why I don't want to see that really happen to anybody. So, you could call it snitchy if you want. I look at it like I was using an appropriate avenue to report a very real danger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not habitually, like, I don't like write people's license plate numbers down and like, I'll get you, that kind of shit. Not at all, man. But it's fucking egregious. You know what I mean? Like, and it's something that I felt I could actually do something about. And lo and behold,
yeah, it's not like he made a one-time mistake. He's done it hundreds of times.
Yeah, dude. And there's again, remorseless. He made that video. He's like, a lot of people complain that I, live stream while driving, but I don't care because the proof's in the pudding. And I've been very, very lucky. It's just like, and I noticed he did stop though. And then he sort of would sit in his car pretending like he was the titles of his streams would be like, let's go for a drive. But then he'd end up just sitting in there. I think he got
Mr. Shigira, thank you. $1.99. What about his multiple times encouraging murder?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we can't even go. I mean, like, yeah, talking about the violence of cops. There's a thread.
Thank you, T. Marie. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, all those have been reported to YouTube, and they turn the blind eye. They just don't
care.
YouTube's
they don't care.
YouTube's not the source to get anything done.
Look,
they proved that a long time ago.
Skeptic had their ear.
Yep.
A private person at YouTube, and people said, "Can you please ask him if he could do something about these videos?" Because they're like literally by the letter of YouTube's law, every single one of them is
they violate terms
an
of
absolute
service.
violation by showing
they violate terms of service.
Absolutely. So he's
multiple ones at that.
We have proven that time and time again.
And since he has over 100 such instances, if he didn't remove them, it only takes 3 channel strikes of something of that nature to get you removed.
Exactly.
So theoretically, his channel should have been gone 30 times over already,
And that also the copyright strikes too. He's filed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copyright strikes on people that, if you file false copyright strikes, you're the one that's supposed to get the strike afterwards. If it's fraudulent.
That's
Why
right.
is he still here then?
99% of the counters succeed. Copyright rarely succeeds.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
All it does is slow your channel down. It's like having a zit on your butt cheek or something for a couple of weeks, Can't get rid of the son of a bitch. And that's all it does, slow down. We put decent videos out countering this stuff and they file a copyright claim. But I have a solution to that, don't I, Dickbag? When
yes, you have a
I have a solution to it, and when Ben Gutterman or Little Benny or whatever, Benji I think is his real name, filed a copyright strike against me, I sent him a letter and said, well, wait a minute, no, I'm going to sue you for a false copyright claim. And I had my video back up in 48 hours. I mean, literally, the way it's worded.
Ram don't play.
Huh?
Ram don't play.
Well, no, it's not that. The way it's worded, and it's factual. It says, ask your attorney if this isn't correct, and it's got the case law documented and everything. They don't have a leg to stand on if they don't copyright. Now, if their material's copyrighted, then my letter doesn't stand a chance, period. But it's not. They don't copyright any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is YouTube, for God's sakes. I mean, you might get into copyright stuff when you get into the bigger producers and stuff, but Gutterman?
Yeah.
That's good. Chille? No. Colin, you tell me if you know of any work that Chille's got copyrighted.
He has one video copyrighted that I'm aware of. Yeah,
So
that's the
one out of
Hammer.
1,000.
His Hammer video.
Which one?
No, wait, is Delete Laws registered copyright yet?
He attempted to trademark it in February. I've already filed a letter challenging that, a letter of opposition with the Copyright Office.
Interesting. That's one to keep track of, PDocs.
If ever
we have
a video,
we have a channel here on our side that is basically a paralegal and can basically put together anything you need to put together to go after these guys, and loves doing it. So
nice. Yeah, I don't know.
Contact with him for sure.
Yeah. So he makes a decent amount off these trifolds, right, Colin? Like he so much that he complained about it on the phone call, saying that, you know, the whole thing is predicated on him going live and just commercial for the trifolds.
Absolutely. That's the bulk of his income is the trifolds. YouTube is a very small portion compared to how much he makes off the trifolds. He makes tens of thousands a month off of trifolds.
That is unbelievable to me. Wow. And yet we've never seen proof of one of them working ever.
yeah, I mean, when they get handed through the window, where did they go?
Well, I mean,
cop throws it on top of the car.
I'm not saying I don't believe Chille's little commercial we just watched. Far be it from me to criticize the man's art. Wow.
I can't speak English, so you read.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I got a video. I got a video that says different.
Yeah, that whole revoking consent thing, man. Jeez, man.
Look, there's a little bit of gray area there, and I found my way here kind of through cop watching, and there is, when you look at some of, and not Chille, their nonsense is garbage. Long Island Tea or whatever, all his garbage. But there are a few out there that know, and I'm starting to see them use it in their videos, that things like signing in a public courthouse, that is challengeable. No, now why would you do it? But it's challengeable. And but anytime you're talking about driving a motor vehicle, I don't care what state you're in, you have a contract with the state and you have to follow the guidelines. It's that simple. There is no gray area there. And that's where law enforcement holds the edge. And
absolutely.
Yeah, Chille has no regard for anybody's safety.
But there are, I honestly have to say that if I was standing in a public area, maybe a state fair or something like that, and a cop walked up to me and asked me for ID, I would probably ask him why, and I probably wouldn't have a problem producing it. But that's challengeable. I mean, that's not the place, well.
Yeah.
time, manner, you know. So there is a little gray area in some stuff, but not when it comes to motor vehicle. Nothing.
Yeah, but if you want to make significant changes, you don't do it by
That's right.
running around, shouting at people.
That's right. Acting like an idiot, insulting people.
It's boring paperwork and phone calls and emails to people and trying to rally people, you know, and like get people's attention. It's like, but ultimately through legislation, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
nobody's going to watch videos about that shit.
And the challenge, some of the tactics to challenge this are questionable. Turner versus Driver, a bit questionable what he did to get there. Now, he did go about it the right way, but his tactics to get there were a little questionable. I believe that was Texas, wasn't it? Yeah, Turner versus Driver's Texas. You know, when you start acting like you have a gun behind your back and hiding in bushes and doing all sorts of strange shit like that.
The Floyd Wallace.
Yeah, Floyd Wallace approach. Yeah, stuff like that. It's ridiculous, but I mean, it did make case law. So
yeah,
Chille set auditing back way back because he what he does hurts real activists and real activism.
Yeah,
and
like
that's the part that bothers me the most.
Tina Slay can speak to all the kind of the tedious shit you have to do. That's like you can't really make YouTubes about, you know, YouTube videos about and sell. When you're really trying to get things
look at
done.
what. Do you see what Tina's saying right
Yeah,
here?
that's what I was going to draw your attention to.
Yeah,
she said,
I had an idiot on TikTok arguing with me over twant. They said that they plan on mortgaging their home to give dollars to him. Jiminy Christmas.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Some people will give money to Jim Baker still. So
Mr. Shigura, thank you, my friend. Chille is trifold and cheats tonight. That's right. He's got those trifolds in bed with him. For Roy. Roy, I'll gladly trade you a trifold tonight for a back rub tomorrow.
And the other thing I wanted to point out is just because you can make case law doesn't mean you should, especially if you don't understand the case law that you're going after. Like the stuff that Chille's trying to make case law for, he doesn't understand at all how it works. And
he doesn't. He misreads case law. He's an expert at misreading case law.
Exactly. And he can make case law.
At PMA.
And you know what? Thank God. You know why? Gives us a lot of entertainment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm having fun, guys. I hope you guys
gives us a lot of entertainment.
My point is he could make case law the wrong way too.
Right.
You know?
Like DMA. He actually it backfired in his face.
Exactly.
That's already been featured in a video. Some cop quoted it to one of these numbnuts. So, yep. Got to be careful. But
I want to say,
I don't think
I was.
Yeah.
I was muted. I was still laughing at the vision of Chille with the hammer. It usually takes me about 10 minutes to stop laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's a carpenter. He was born in a manger. Yeah, do you guys want to go back to the
telephone
to the phone call? Just to wrap that up, I don't know if you're here or not, Tina, but looks like Chille had himself a little old accident about a year ago and is being sued for some negligent driving charges. Funny, he never mentioned it to anybody, but yeah, so that's the big news. And then we're gonna, I guess, listen to the rest of this whatever this is.
In case the people suing him or happen to be watching, they should know that they should go ahead and sue his company too, Ethics SCS, also, because that way he would have to. I don't think he can. If someone sues his company, if I'm not mistaken, he can't represent himself as pro se. He has to hire an attorney for that. Isn't that correct?
If you, yeah, that's true. In California, you if you're a corporate or a company of any kind, you have to have an appointed attorney. You can't do that. But
what I thought.
at the ethics SCS is Kaputski, as far as I know. He hasn't he let it lapse. I mean, he's got a
Both
long
of them
list.
are, yeah.
Yeah, he has a long list of expired California corpse, and then he let it lapse in California most recently, and he started it in Vegas, but now it's lapsed in Vegas too. So yeah, everything this guy does is sketchy as fuck. Like I'm telling you, if you look, Colin, how involved were you with that End Torture Cuffs website?
I was not involved with that at all. And he has another guy that does all his website stuff named Mo Algalar or whatever.
Yeah, well, don't hire Mo Algalar, everybody, because he sucks. And it's just like, yeah, I built websites, so I know what to look for, and it's just like it's a crappy template for one thing, but then he I've mentioned this before, but he didn't even swap out the stock photos of two of the quote unquote staff on the front. He didn't even change the names from the template. I know because I downloaded the fucking template and checked it. And also the pictures on there are named like just person 3 and person 4, but the picture of Chille is named, Chille in Ironton or whatever. So that's the naming convention for those templates. So he's misrepresenting right there that he has these two imaginary fucking people working for this pseudo charity. Because if you look near the donation stuff, it says we are actively seeking 501 status. Yeah, whatever the fuck that means. So I know. Were you involved with him still when he was? Because he says he is filed some paperwork for a charity. I don't they have standards though? Wouldn't Chille fail those?
He is never. I was not involved. He was talking about getting it back when I was with him, but he never filed anything until after I left. But yeah, he's never going to get it. He would not meet the ethics guidelines for that.
So Rico, you probably could speak to this. How much difficulty is Chille going to have keeping up with all of his lawsuits and stuff while he's in? Because it seems to me, I've been told by a smart person it's going to be very difficult, and he has a lot of stuff that is just going to kind of he's just going to like kind of default on, I guess.
They'll make an effort to help you get to criminal cases that are in the local jurisdiction. Civil cases are going to be a lot harder. And I can't 100% speak to Nevada, but I know other places I've worked. Like I said, they'll make an effort. They're almost required to make an effort for local criminal cases. But the further away it is, the harder it's going to be. Now with Zoom, and probably because of COVID, it's probably a lot easier. But the problem he's going to have is communicating. I imagine, theoretically, I think what he's been doing is he's been doing Chat GPT, and then there are the people that have been helping him craft his documents. He's not going to be able to do that anymore.
That's good to know that he and Chat GPT made up, because he was a little bit angry at Chat GPT for a while there. I was
the status cocksucker. That's what he called Chat GPT.
Yeah, he would literally enter in, like, if it didn't give him an answer he liked, he would literally like answer it like, it's a person. He'd be like, "Don't try and cop-splain to me, you stupid." It's like,
yeah, there were at least 2 different streams where he was arguing with Chat GPT.
Yeah, that was the most unbelievable shit. Well, up until this phone call, because this shit is pretty unbelievable. Are we ready to dive back into it? You gonna make it, Rico?
I'm here for you.
Nice. I like it.
And then we're leaving here. And so then he goes, "Everybody back, lock down, get on the tables now." It's just Castro. He goes, "You have 2 mattresses in that bunk over there." I said, you told me to grab everything and bring it over there." He said, "Not the mattress. Everybody will stay locked down until the Castro gets both mats over there." Now I start to run, and the guard says, "No running." So then I'm just double stepping up the stairs. I grab the mat, I get it back. The entire room is grumbling my name and mad at me. So then I get over to the phones and I look at the guys and I say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Don't let them divide and conquer. And the guys in the row all immediately agree that they're not going to let them divide and conquer. But then this is the last holding tank before the next step is I'm there for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know because you can't keep track of time. And then they say, let's go. You're going to general population. So then they take me out of there and then I walk back outside and there's me and maybe 6 other guys. And then that group of 6 connects to another group of 6 that connects to another group of 6. And now they're walking us down corridor after corridor after corridor. You have to walk along the line of the outside of the wall, keep your head down, walk along the wall, don't look at me.
Put a 1 in the room if you've spent more than a day in jail, more than 24 hours in a jail.
2 in like Nancy, where I'm at right now. But before that, I was in 2 M or 2O right next to this cell. So then I come into 2M, and when I get in there, now
Thank you, Mr. Shigura. Look up N torture cuffs, but remove the N. Yes, torture cuffs.
I'm 3 days so far, 3 days I think, and I'm wearing the same clothes. I stink. I've been doing hundreds and hundreds of push-ups, trying to keep my mind from wandering and counting them, so that I've done Wim Hof. I'm not sure if you Wim Hof daily breathing exercise. It's 11 minutes. If you don't do it, I do it pretty frequently, and so I do Wim Hof.
You know, I was gonna say, has he taken a breath this entire time?
No, and I want to know what happened to Roy.
Yeah,
I thought he was rooming with Roy
and Nick
setting the guidelines for taking a poop.
Yeah, where is Nick? Was Nick just in that initial holding cell form with him? I'm lost
during this process. But
Nick and Roy begged to get away from him.
I
yeah,
probably myself. So finally, when I get into 2N or 2M, I'm sorry, I think I'm in 2N now. And so then when I go in there, now I'm able to take it.
What? You say something?
Yeah, I said he's an N for he's the Ners.
Yeah.
There's no way Chille de Castro is going to make it in the general population unless he convinces enough people that he can help them with their cases, which he'll probably do.
Or
because they do offer the law library, and I don't know that Clark County, a lot of it has to do with the jailers, and but for the most part they get a lot of access to the law library, and if he can get that stuff back in the main population and convince people that he's a law scholar known the world over,
her survival tactics thus far have just been brilliant.
He's a big time con man and a grifter, so he will get it. That would definitely be his grift while he's in there. I guarantee
well,
it.
he'd almost have to, and I'm only saying that just because, and I know that Rico, was a bailiff, and I go back a little bit further. I was in the 80s, but that's what I started. I started in dispatch and jailer. And as a jailer, we had the bailiff, and so I know as a jailer, a lot of it has to do, and this is way back when you could say shut up, and you could, put them in lockdown and stuff like that when they got out of line and stuff. And I know they still do that, but they have a lot more accessibility to legal documents in the law library and stuff now because, well, the law, I mean, they have to do it. I'll have to look it up, but I know that there's, legal standards there. So especially California, where, you get chocolate ice cream and pizza every Sunday, Okay, let's see what it says here. Sephiroth, proud to say I haven't spent any time in jail outside of sobering up after Mardi Gras. Yeah, and that's pretty standard procedure down there. They kind of work you like cattle during Mardi Gras. You kind of work your way in and work your way out. Right on.
Shower, but I have to put on the same clothes and the same underwear. I've actually washed my underwear twice because I've had the same pair of boxers for 5 days. Apparently, they're having a laundry problem here at the facility, and so they don't know when. They said maybe next week we're going to get new clothes.
So much superfluous information.
Tomorrow, Monday. I'm hoping that's what happens. And so then I go into 2M, and when I get in there, it's a group of guys, and they're all about
That's
25
important.
to 35. I'm
Rico, whatever happened to time limitation on the phone in jail? I guess they get it's a lot more lenient.
I think that the jail gave him special time in recognition of the positive impact he's had on the lives of all these inmates. The first day he's been there, he's changed Roy's life and he's changed all the lives of all the other inmates. I think he just gets extra time. I'm sitting here listening to this. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I know. I just can't. To me, that just seems like, I don't know. Yeah. He changed Roy. Roy knows how to poop with a roommate now.
You know what it is, guys? It's that human connection. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this is amazing. Yeah, he's got a lot going on, man. He's worried about his delete laws shit collapsing.
Yeah, and Colin,
he's got a shit ton of lawsuits, and then on top of it, he's got to deal with grown men taking shits in the same room as him. If that rattled him, I mean,
knowing Chille as well as you do, Colin, there's no doubt in my mind that all this superfluous information is most of it's made up.
Oh, absolutely. 90% of what maybe 80% of what he's saying is just all made up. He's delusional.
It's unreal how he fills in all the gray area with just superfluous bullshit.
49. So I'm in pretty good shape, and so then we go out to the rec room, which is maybe 20 feet wide by 60 feet long, and it's just a concrete slab with a dip
really
machine
specific,
and a big crack down the middle, and some tables over in the corner.
And so then I work out with these guys who are young. These guys are doing sets of 20, 25 pull-ups. I'm managing like 8, 10. I'm struggling because I haven't been doing a lot of pull-ups, and I'm absolutely starving. I've had very little food. A lot of the food is simply not edible. It's just not. A couple people have put a little money on my commissary, and I'm so grateful you did it, because I can buy some chili and I can buy some beans from the commissary, but I can only order once a week. So I had a friend. This is a complicated story. I don't think I have any more time to tell the next story, but I just want you guys to know that I'm okay and I'm gonna be all right. And
yeah, there you go. Put a 2 in the room if you want to be a part of the judge.
And like I said, I took responsibility.
Wait, go back to that for a second.
So
I want to hear that.
And the Judge and Zimmerman fan club.
We have the most badass appeals attorney ever. I haven't been able to talk to him. I've called him 3 days in a row, and I've left him voicemails. And I have powerful people who are writing letters of recommendation for me. So if you're an attorney or if you're an officer of the court, you can write a letter of recommendation vouching.
I have powerful people, but would you?
And I've always preached nonviolence, always preached never to fight or shoot or attack police ever. So this judge was just completely out of her mind, and like I said, I took responsibility already and said I didn't do the best at court. So I don't belong in here. And do I think that some people need to live in a box?
Yeah, Mr. DeCastro, we're not going to make this your personal pulpit.
They're extraordinarily violent. They're criminally insane, and they need to live in a box. But I would 95% of the people in this room, maybe 100% of these people, they need to go to a mandatory education. Every 30 minutes should be an educational seminar that you learn on a computer, where you're doing basic math, structure, or Spanish structure. Because when you learn
not wasting any time, is he?
Russian, science, those things change the way the neurons in the brain work. John Locke said, "Show me the education of a man, and I'll show you his character." Well, these characters are based that they're completely uneducated. A lot of these guys can't do
this. Is not happening.
And so they don't realize that what they're doing is going to have heavy consequences. They're going to be locked down. And so that's what this should be saved for. And this shouldn't be like this. You should have to go to 30 minutes of education every 30 minutes. And then the other 30 minutes, you should be in a regular facility where there's a toilet with toilet paper. That's another part. The bathroom and the toilet paper and the way it works. I can't give it justice on the phone. I'm going to have to write it in the book. But the way that, like I said, I already
Well, hold on one second. Pause it 1 second. He's been in jail for less than a day, and he thinks that he's smarter than everybody in jail, but he's never finished college, and he's never had a real job. But he's smarter than everybody in jail, and he thinks that they need to be educated all day with basic math that he doesn't know how to do, and he can't read. But he's smarter than everybody. But I would say the vast majority of people in jail have had some sort of real job at some point. But he doesn't, but he's smarter than all of them. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right.
No, that's exactly
Thank you, Sue.
right.
Thank you, Sue Bear, for posting that link. I appreciate it. And what do we got here? Sandees, a maniac, $2. Chille's New World Order, beans and boxers.
Yeah.
and how to poo.
Wow. This is amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
More than I could have hoped for.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just insane. It's just the guy's gone. All right.
Roy and I had, and it's just this is just not how you should treat another human being. Nobody here is learning a lesson. This is funding for the state and funding for the apparatus of the criminal injustice industry, and it's just so terrible. Nobody's learning anything here, and the books are novels. Dan Brown's whatever it's called. I'm on the last 30 pages or 40 pages. And then I'm going to read Atlas Shrugged next. So it's just, you're not learning anything. They're not creating new neurons in their brain, learning consequences because they learn.
Did he just say he was gonna read Atlas Shrugged?
Where you learn basic math and basic English structure because those things actually teach you how to learn consequences.
I'm sorry. What was that? I was on another browser.
Did he just say he was gonna read Atlas Shrugged?
I don't know. Let's see what he said. Sorry, I was.
No, it's not important. Really.
I was
Don't go back for it.
I'll conversation Roy and I had, and it's just this is just not how you should be another human being. Nobody here is learning a lesson. This is funding for the state and funding for the apparatus of the criminal injustice industry, and it's just so terrible. Nobody's learning anything here, and the books are novels. Dan Brown's. Whatever it's called. I'm on the last 30 pages or 40 pages. And then I'm going to read Atlas Shrugged next. So it's just, you're not learning anything. They're not creating new neurons in their brain, learning consequences because they learn basic algebra equation. Where's the computer screens where you learn?
Well, there's a limited amount to be learned from Atlas Shrugged at best. Chille.
How to learn
I'll save you the trouble.
Where are the history lessons? Where are the riddles and rhymes you can solve right there in your own little cubicle where you have to learn and you have to pass this? And if you can't, then a virtual teacher comes on and says, why are you struggling, Chille? What's going on with you? I can't figure out why, if E equals MC squared, why can't I get this into a quadratic formula? And then all of a sudden, my brain is working and I'm starting to engage in thinking. And that's what makes people less criminal, when they can problem solve their way out of situations instead of doing criminal activity.
This is literally, this is the rantings of a lunatic. People.
Hey, it's delusional.
This is a stream of consciousness crazy person.
Want to beat their wife.
I
say absolutely.
They want to rob the store and put a gun to their face. And let me tell you something. The guys in here have told me the truth. Guy looked at me and said, I was a criminal, dude. I was shooting up cocaine and then going into liquor stores and robbing them, putting a gun to their head, pistol whipping people. And that guy did almost 20 years in prison in New York. And now he's in here on a card dealing thing. And I said to him, I said, I'm not going to say his name right now, but
I think the guy we're hearing in the background that's like responding to Chille a little bit is his assistant. If you're asking about that,
I said to him, hey, I said, why are you doing this? And he said, I haven't been in prison in 10 years. I'm 50 years old. I went to prison in my 20s and 30s. I got out and never did any of that smack again. And I was just doing a petty card game. And he got arrested for a felony. It's a hustle what he's doing. He told me straight up.
Some of those card games are really organized and yes, I know exactly what he's talking about. And those fuckers do belong in jail, man. They operate all around the LA area, Hollywood. I had to deal with those fuckers, and they're organized, and they could bring in like 10 grand a day because they know how to throw the card. I mean, even fucking professional magicians will tell you not to play 3-card money because you can't win. Like if you know how it's done, and you are a professional magician or something, sleight of hand artist, you can maybe win one time against them, but then they know how to switch it up. So those people are parasites that he's describing here. It's not like a victimless crime, man. They cheat people out of a lot of money, and a lot of times they'll give back. If the people do win, they'll give them fake money, so they never lose. And they have a bag man that stands off to one side. They got snitches all over the place. They got spotters. So when the cops show up, if the cops ever show up, they just scatter, and and then they get arrested, and it's just like a misdemeanor. So building a case against them takes forever. And meanwhile, like I said, they're making like 10 grand a day off of unsuspecting tourists. Granted, if you're dumb enough to play 3-card money on the street, but still, it's not fair. Hey, man, if you're gonna gamble, really gamble, man. Don't fucking cheat people.
That's like walking into an alley in Tijuana. I mean, if you're dumb enough to go back there.
Yeah.
Can I add something real quick?
Yes.
Sure.
He's acting like they do nothing but sit around all day. And every jail and prison I've been to has programs to modify behavior and to keep them occupied during the day. I'm looking at the Clark County Jail website, and I'm looking at their annual reports. They have 10 different programs you can take advantage of. I'm going to name some off real quick. I don't want to take all the time up. I just want to refute his story that there's nothing
you're good,
to do.
brother.
Yeah,
there's hope for prisoners. There's Foundation for Independent Tomorrow. There's anger management, substance abuse, and marriage and family classes. There's self-help in custody study packets. There's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. There's a whole bunch of things listed here. To say there's nothing to do there, that's disingenuous and a lie. And I'm pretty sure that at some point when he got in custody, they gave him a packet that made him aware of all the different programs he could avail himself of. So to say that there's no education available there, he's living in a fantasy land.
What time is it, everybody? It's Rico time. Well,
and
said,
some
man.
of those he needs to take too, like the anger management. He needs that.
Yeah, that I was just thinking that it's too bad the judge didn't make that mandatory while he was in there, because that may have helped him. I mean,
that's exactly it. But I that's my number one complaint with the judge is I think when the DA said the impulse control class, if they could have found that for him in custody, if you're going to sit around for 180 days, find a way to order that while he's in custody.
Unbelievable. All that help's available for Chille right down the hall, and he won't admit that he even needs it. He's too busy rebuilding the prison or the jail system in there already. 4 days in, he's got all these ideas of how he's gonna. I wonder if he'll start trying to raise money for that. Now, I don't know if this is true. I heard earlier that somebody said they reported him for doing those third-party calls, which you're not supposed to do, and because he was using the prison phone to essentially beg for money, they killed his phone privileges. I don't know. We haven't got another phone call from him. Knowing Chille, he'll do it every chance he gets because he's got to appear in front of his followers in some form or another as much as possible. So, thoughts?
I hope it's true.
All right. Sorry, I had to leave for a second. I just want to validate to everybody here. There's about 240. Appreciate you being here. And I want you to know that Chille took, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to instruct how to take a poo with a roommate. Well, yeah. I just took a leak with 242 people. So you just go fucking do it.
This is magical.
It is.
I'm so
magical.
glad you guys are all here to see this.
Yeah, and yeah, Mr. Sugar, I did miss it at first. I was on another browser. I want to try to stay caught up with them as they go. I don't want to stack them up, but you made a good point at the time. As you think everybody else, yeah, absolutely right. That's Chille though. That's his MO. Everybody's dumb, and he's the smartest man in the room.
And then here's the thing: if you get arrested and get a felony, then you can't work in the casinos. And this guy's hands are just, you should see what he can do. But of course, he can't do it, because if he does anything like that, he's going to go to prison. So I don't think he's going to ever get better.
The chats
There's
are on
ways
fire
to fix
tonight.
people
This
if you
is
give them
great.
enough education.
Yeah.
And there's people who need to be taught careers. They can sit in here and learn plumbing on the new artificial intelligence 3D programming. You could teach people how to do plumbing and how to put pieces together simply by going through a virtual system with artificial intelligence that teaches them how to do plumbing. And then after they're in here for 3 months, they get out and they go work as an apprentice. There's people who learn here who do heavy labor, who can do construction work. They could learn how to do concrete. They could learn how to do finishing. They could learn how to do HVAC, air conditioning. They could learn how to do it here with.
I'm not laughing at him because what he's talking about is pretty valid, but the chat's just hilarious.
Virtual terminals using AI that shows them how the components work together while they're learning basic math, English, history, science. And then their brains are working again, and they're sober in here because you can't get drugs in here the way you can on the street.
Bullshit.
So a lot of these people who are in here, half of them, because of drugs, no longer are going to be on drugs. One guy told me
Chille can't get drugs in there.
Yeah.
I take Suboxone, and the Suboxone is the same as heroin. It's just
No, it's not. All right. Now he's got me pissed off. I'm going to let him finish this sentence.
the legal form of it. And if I don't get my shot of Suboxone every week, then I go crazy and I lose.
Okay. I am so sick of people comparing Suboxone to heroin or methadone. It's neither one.
Same here.
It is a very valid drug. I'm working very hard in my life behind the scenes to try to ease up the government restrictions on it. It needs to be more available. It's a lifesaver.
It saved my life. I'm on methadone.
I'm Suboxone. I lost a brother on methadone years ago. I'm not too fond of it because it is way more addictive. But Suboxone works completely different than methadone. It's not even close to being the same thing. You can't take too much Suboxone and have a euphoric experience. It just doesn't happen. It's the best thing that could help the opioid situation in this country, but it's government regulated. It takes a Suboxone doctor to prescribe it, and I get it. I get what they're trying to do, but they when the government gets involved, everything moves so slow.
I agree, man.
Jelly Roll, I put it on my community tab. We played it during the live stream when he testified before the Senate Banking Committee. And he's right. That bill he's trying to get passed, it needs to happen. Suboxone needs to become more available. The clinics there's a clinic that I drive by, and it's literally packed on the days that they see patients, and they don't take appointments. It's first come, first serve. So it looks like, a bus heading for a free trip to the Bahamas or something. And it's just cars parked everywhere and hoping to get in there to get it. That's how much of a demand there is for it. And I can tell you from experience, Suboxone is it just read about it if you would. It's not a euphoric drug at all.
Both of them are lifesavers. If you do them right, both of them are lifesavers. If you take them like you're supposed to.
Well, the problem with methadone is it's highly addictive, and if you're not disciplined with methadone.
Well, believe it or not, Suboxone is too. I have a brother who is addicted to Suboxone.
But
you can get addicted to anything that you take for any extended period of time. But Suboxone especially
there is no euphoric high from Suboxone. None.
No,
Zero.
But the problem with drug addicts,
the Noxalone that's in Suboxone. Now I'm talking about Suboxone now. Okay, I'm not talking about some of the ones that don't have some noxolone in it, but the noxolone is a counter. It's the same drug that the cops carry around with them. It just doesn't work that way. It's more like a blocker, and methadone takes a little bit of discipline, and they have improved methadone over the years.
It does.
You got to remember, my brother became an addict in 1975, and it was a lot nastier drug back then.
I have other problems with methadone, like my teeth. It's made all my teeth pretty much rot away.
Sure it does, and opioids do the same thing.
Yep.
Yep. But I do. The Chille just made a comment that he's talking something he doesn't understand anything about.
No, it bothers me that he wants to try to say I'm a drug addict and stuff just because I'm on methadone, and that's something that bothered me too, and still does.
Have you tried to go the Suboxone route with Noxolone?
I did. I started trying to take that, but I can't take it because I have heart failure. I have a heart condition.
I got you.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Well, it sounds like you're disciplined, though. It sounds like you're
absolutely.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
But you said Chille was on psych meds, so that implies at some point he either saw a therapist or something.
Yeah, I don't know how he was getting them. I mean, how he was getting them, but I know he definitely had them because I've seen him.
Are you talking about like okay? You're psych meds? You mean? Are you talking
now?
about,
Could he have just been telling you they were quote psych meds end quote?
No, he didn't even say anything really about it. I just other than what I saw him do on the screen.
I see.
Behind the scenes of Alive one day.
He was crushing pills.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't really him. Maybe it was an AI Chille.
Maybe. I think AI Chille's way smarter than that. He's on vacation.
Yeah,
he's having a good time.
He's having pina coladas right now.
Yep.
Lose my mind and I break the law because I know once I break the law, I'm going to get my Suboxone again. He told me that. He just told me that. So there could be a better system created if we focused it more on rehabilitating and educating people than punishing them. When we get locked down in our bunks, we're being punished. You will sit in your bunk for hours on end, and that's what you will do. The really weird part is that most of the guards in here already know who I am, and I've had to.
I don't block trolls, Metal Mama. I understand people do.
When I read the book, it talks about how the NSA needs to have backdoors and secrets into our computers.
You have 1 minute left.
Dan Brown never pushes back and says, "Wait a minute, he seems to have the slant that the NSA should have a backdoor into computers for our safety." So it's my first Dan Brown novel. I'm not real impressed with him not pushing back on that. Anyway, that's the update for today. So I love you guys, and I'll check back in tomorrow. Hopefully, Brian from Here's the Deal can cover this. You guys can comment and stuff. And thank you, Brian, for helping, and God bless you guys for helping me. I appreciate it. I have a GoFundMe if you guys can donate to that. That would be fantastic. I love you all.
All right.
I want to point out that his first or second was this the first or second jail call? First one?
This was the first one from Sunday night. No, this is Sunday night.
This is second. This is the one. The first time he called, I think, Here's the Deal directly, and then this one was one that Chille's
delete laws that they had all
made, and then Chille's assistant sent it to this Gomer.
Gotcha. So his second jail call goes from pooping with Roy to education to the National Security Agency. I don't think there's any other jail call in history that's gone through that arc.
I was just thinking that because don't they monitor all those calls? Can you imagine the poor fucker who was listening to that shit, not knowing anything about Chille, just being like, this fucking guy, what the fuck is going on? Because if you're just introduced to Chille via that phone call, you're going to be like, this is a crazy person.
Mr. Segura says Chille said before he smokes weed and does mushrooms.
Yeah.
Does
By
he
the
do?
way, I did FOIA his jailhouse phone calls too.
Can
Colin,
you?
Yep.
does he do hallucinogens? Does he eat a lot of shrooms?
I don't know about that. I've never seen him do them.
Okay.
Wow. Well, we know he did DMT because that's when God
Right.
told him he was special and sent him on his mission.
I suspect he still does steroids.
I'm not gonna. I'm. Yeah, I don't care to speculate on it.
That DMT, stay away from that. Don't go anywhere near that kind of crap.
Yeah. Wow.
No proof, but that's just my suspicion.
I might have done that in my younger days, but
Maybe, but it's just really.
I like my brain the way it is right now. I don't want to take any chances.
I mean that's a mind altering experience. It can be, and it can be.
You got to really be ready for that shit. I mean, I probably could. I just don't have any desire to. You know what I mean? Like I did that kind of shit. I'm too fucking old for that shit, man.
Right, that's right. We're trying to figure out how to get our asses wiped.
Yeah.
I need my chili wipe.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, the DeCastro wipes. That's right. I so wish that was a real product. Damn it.
I've got to
send those to Chille.
I've got to pop this in real quick while this is all fresh in our minds. So just bear with me a second. I'm gonna throw something up here. We've seen it before, but this part of it is hilarious. And there's a few people in here in the chat, Mike.
How's everybody feeling, by the way? I'm having a great time.
In the courtroom, which is the best thing that could possibly happen. Now the people get to hear that I'm going to sue Jeffrey and I'm going to sue Matthew and I'm going to sue every one of
So here's what
those
we're not
cops.
going to do, Mr. DeCastro. This is not going to be a personal pulpit for your, philosophical difference or belief.
Nonsense.
You have the media here, and that's fine. This
Great.
is an open court. But I don't want you to start saying things too far extraneous for purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Because that's what we're here for. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm recording everything, and you need to be aware that that's a two-sided thing. You're representing yourself, so I'm having this conversation with you. All these statements that you're saying can also potentially be used against you because you're getting recorded. So just so you understand. So here's what we're going to do. Assuming you're entering a not guilty plea.
Does the misdemeanor carry jail time?
Possibly, yes.
Possible jail time. So you said a second ago that this is a misdemeanor case as though it's something minor, but I can be put in a dungeon.
Okay. In no way
So that's true.
did I imply that this was minor by saying that it's a misdemeanor.
It's a big deal.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
thanks.
DeCastro, let's not get off on the wrong foot. I have my job to do, and I'm not trying to engage in a conversation that's adversarial with you today.
No, I'm not trying to either. I'm not trying. I like you a lot. I think you look like a real
One of those body language experts where they have a lot of fun watching the judge, I think.
Say it again.
I said I would be interested to hear one of those body language experts break down the judge's reactions to Chille. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he's such a he's just a test of everybody's patience is basically what it is. You know what I mean? And so it's fascinating to watch, people who are just kind of trying to do their job come up against these fucking boneheads.
I started this a little ways in. The first confrontation they have, the expression on her face is priceless. You're right. I mean,
and you could see the moment where she just her face kind of falls and she's like, okay, man, look, we're not doing this shit. All right.
It'd be interesting to see how she would handle one of the Sovsit court cases.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look in their library, see if I can find something like that.
I get the impression that Nevada's pretty stringent.
You think?
Compared to say California.
So far I love Nevada.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
Especially of the judges.
And they also in Las Vegas have the Mob Museum, which is awesome, by the way. So if you're ever in Vegas, make sure you go to the Mob Museum. It's a good museum.
Yeah, I hear you can gamble there too.
Oh, did they put machines in it?
In the Mob Museum? No, I just been Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas, yeah. Well, you can do that anywhere.
No, they're tearing down the
all you have to find is American Indian, Native American land. You can gamble where I live.
Tearing down, what is it, the Flamingo? One of like the very last one of those.
That'd be the last
stores.
of the old Rat Pack stuff then, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, Flamingo was pretty cool. I think that was the first one I ever went to when I went to Vegas years ago.
Nice. Was Wayne Newton playing?
As a matter of fact, Wayne Newton was playing.
See?
And I think he was only 90, and that was 30 years ago.
Nice. All right.
On your behalf today, I'm going to reset this for a pre-trial. I do need to understand, because you said you were going to have standby counsel. So are you going to represent yourself primarily, or do you want to have that conversation, come back with your attorney? Because there's certain procedural things I'll need to do to protect the due process and your due process. If you want to go ahead and represent yourself.
Right. No, I'm going to have a standby attorney, and that has to do with a few different things. But I should probably consult with my attorney before I say anything, because it could be used against me later.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. And I would rather that you protect yourself, because we're recording, and that is where I'm coming from in the kind of conversations and comments that I'm making to you today. Sure. So you are obviously entitled to represent yourself. That is your right. But let's do this. Let's get you a pre-trial date. And that date, ordinary course for private attorney will be May 1st at 1:30. May 1st at 1:30?
I think I have.
Do you need a different date?
Yeah, no, you don't.
I may need a different date, because I have a different thing in Indiana.
Oh, you don't have anything in
Can I just look at my phone real quick at my calendar?
Has nothing to do with you.
And Your Honor, I have absolutely nothing against you. I'm not in any way adversarial to you at all.
I'm glad to hear that, Mr.
I just,
because we may be on this case
I
for
have
a while.
nothing against you. I don't know you. You seem like a nice person to me. I couldn't possibly help.
Indiana is Craig Henry, and all Chille did was raise money for him to hire an attorney. He's got no business. That's not, he makes it sound like he's representing somebody. I have a case in Indiana.
Anything against you personally. So I'm just looking for the date that I have.
Okay,
Indiana.
thanks.
I
Thanks
sue
for
lots
that,
of
I
cops all around
guess.
the country.
Yeah.
I help sue lots of cops around the country if they violate people's rights. So I have a case in Indiana, but I'm just looking for the date. And that May 1st?
Yes, at 1:30.
Can't talk.
Everything's a performance with this guy.
Yeah.
The judge is looking at me.
Wait for it. See?
Is it easier if I give you a different date and then you look at that?
Well, I'm just not sure if it's May 1st or June 1st. I'm just going to go there because I'm assisting with the financing of filing a federal civil rights lawsuit against these cops who arrested this man for filming cops.
Look,
bingo. Guess what? He doesn't have to worry about it. He's going to have all the transportation he needs to show up on May the 1st.
Yep. Look at me. I'm smart. That's the vibe of this speech.
So I just want to make sure that I'm there when that happens. It's a lot of work. So
I'm important, Your Honor.
He's texting me back right now. I'll know the date in 1 second. I hate to waste any of these people's time.
You're not wasting anyone's time.
I just want to make sure that, because then we have to reset it again. If it's possible for my attorney to be here and me not to be
Absolutely.
here, well, then we can set it for any date that's most convenient for the court.
That's fine. You will need to inform your attorney of that date, and then I'm sure they will know to appear for you. If nobody's there on that day, that would be a problem.
That would be a bad thing.
Right. So you would need to be here if in fact this is not your attorney that you're going to hire, because then I need to figure out, do you need more time? Or
no, I already have an attorney retained.
Okay. So we will keep the May 1st, 1:30 date for your standby attorney to appear for you. And you do not need to appear on that date as long as your lawyer is here.
What time is that at, ma'am?
1:30 in the afternoon, and you are in Department 1, May 1st.
Department 1 at 1:30.
NSA Agent Jones for $4.99. Thank you very much. Says, take our name out of your mouth.
This is a fascinating exchange too. It'll tell you a lot about Chille.
That's why I wanted to play it. It's so applicable.
He hates women, and he really hates women with power over him of any kind or authority. So all these little things he's trying to do, like text, a little power move type of things, like, oh, let me see if I can fit you in there, Judge. I'm a big important guy. I got a lot of important shit going on. You know how it is. Fellow legal expert here, right? So he's trying to, come off like Mr. Big, and it's so fucking sad, isn't it? It's just like, look at yourself in the mirror, bro. You look bad.
Rico summed it up in his entry tonight. Yes, make you vomit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Set.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, then we'll see you
I
if
appreciate
you're
your
returning on
time.
that day, or just your attorney, Mr. DeCastro.
Thank you. Have a nice
Okay,
day.
you too.
Yeah, I just had to do that.
Wow.
For that fact, I love that most of the judges are women too. That seeing his case.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
What have we learned here tonight, kids? We learned Chille has what could be a serious lawsuit against him that he's never bothered to mention anywhere.
Now, here,
Hello? What happened?
All right.
I'm here.
What else have we learned? Chille's
Don't pee in the pooper.
Yeah, don't be in the paper.
We know Chille can't handle being in the room with another grown man while he's taking a shit. I don't know how I feel about knowing that information. It's fascinating. You can't deny it's not fascinating. And since we haven't seen another phone call video tonight, and he said in that phone call, hey, I'm going to try and do this again tomorrow. Perhaps the person who said they reported him.
Let me look. This now what I've got up there on the screen right now. Hold on. Well, I'm gonna play this and I'll go look and see if there's anything posted the last hour or two.
Yeah.
But, the only reason I thought about playing this is just so that everybody can understand just how suck up here's the deal is when he does the summary of the arrest. I don't have to play it.
Is this gonna upset me?
Well, you like this guy so much.
He's great, right?
Yeah.
Can't get enough.
There we go. Let's see what we got here. The Truth in Astronomy, $5. Thank you so much. This is all a setup to make a ton of money. His phone calls sound like romantic prison drama. No, you're right. You're right. It was like a romance novel.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird elements in there. And
Weird.
yeah, that's the point of the this upcoming lawsuit. Is Chille using some of those funds for that? Because I know he's on the hook for some legal debts. So he's just trying to get whatever he can in the sack, and he'll use it for whatever because he's flailing right now. He's trying to. I mean,
okay,
he does not seem to be worried about the things he should be worried about, though, on the phone calls. I'm assuming those are all just a complete showboat, commercial for himself for his
on Delete Law's channel, posted 2 hours ago, streamed 2 hours ago. So that was about the time we started, a little after we started.
But what streamed over there?
Well, I'm going to find out. Well, that's what we're going to do.
Try and stop us.
Try and stop us now. Delete Law's channel right there. And
yeah.
Here.
You are live, it says. Hopefully, let's just check the stream. Going to check the health of the stream. Let us check it. Yeah, it's working. You know what? Okay. We're doing a complete new platform today. This is StreamYard. I'm not used to StreamYard, but hopefully we won't have any kind of stream key conflicts. Welcome
Except
to
you're out of sync.
Delete Laws. And have you ever asked yourself
what?
Well, hold on. I want to hear his roll up there.
Okay.
I just want to hear he may be saying what his plan is.
The Truth in Astronomy, $5. Thank you so much. I work in the legal field. He doesn't need $50,000 for an attorney. He's going to take that money and run like he always does. Your thoughts on that, Colin?
Absolutely. The minute he gets out of, if he gets out of there, even if it's on bail, whatever, he's just going to hightail it out of Nevada. Guarantee it.
See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to move to Ironton and be elected mayor.
He won't be sticking around for his other charges either. Although I am happy to say that the states that he doesn't have warrants in is shrinking.
Yeah.
At least it's not buffering. I wonder what the deal is, man. I wonder what the deal is. It's good now.
Well, it's
I
not.
wonder if it's because it is good now. Maybe it's because I had that paused. Here, let me go ahead and get rid of that. See if that helped it out.
Okay. Maybe
Okay, so I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, a couple of current events that kind of have nothing to do with cops. I don't know if it does or not. But anyway, I don't know if you guys heard what happened to the Francis Scott Key Bridge here. I'm going to go ahead and
wait a minute. What is this?
It says in it.
What? Don't care. Do you?
No, is he just taking over Chille's channel?
Yeah,
just to do
well,
something
he's-
live? Is he going to do a trifle? Oh, wait, here he's talking about Chille.
Yeah, he's getting there.
I don't think I want to hear this shit.
What happened to the volume? What the hell? God, he's going to have to give up live streaming on Chille's channel because it hasn't worked yet. Yep, see, he's having problems again.
Let's see. Edit.
Oh, he's in
input,
sync now.
Cancel microphone. Reverb. We will not stop. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Oh God. I hate dropping the ball. Screen. Present. Share screen.
So it's about halfway through,
screen
and he
three.
hasn't really
Figured shit out.
done shit.
Screen 2. Yep, here we go. Allow.
Oh.
All right, so here, let me get me out of the way. All right, so see what I have on the bottom here? I have mute. I have
Oh,
stop
wow,
cam.
man.
I have
Freaky.
settings. So if I push settings,
Goes on
it says
forever.
camera, web pro cam, full definition, mirror.
All right. I don't want any more shit from anybody in the chat about my technical difficulties. I've been one up.
My camera, touch up appearances. Watch this. When I touch up appearances, watch my face. Watch this.
No, we don't.
You know, every time I see Utah Cop Watch, wait, where'd he go? Oh, wait, we can't listen to this. Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude,
Man, we thought it was bad 2 decades ago. Ass
this sucks.
my ear until my ears.
Yeah, wait, skip through it to see if he.
There's nothing there. Well, I mean,
All
you guys go ahead. I'll skip through it. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That seems like a likely possibility. You have any thoughts on the taking the money and run angle, Rico? Do we have Rico? You're muted, buddy. If you're still with us, it sounds likely to me. I mean, and he'll run out of the state, and then he'll, talking about how he got the better of
Freedom.
the situation.
You don't ever do it, because if you do that, then you don't deserve safety or security. Free Chille now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me also say, you know what? Yeah, free Chille. Thanks, Michael. You know what? Let me also say, because I feel bad that I haven't covered this yet, because man, I have been swamped trying to take care of my channel, doing this right here. No complaints. I'm just let's see. There is Craig Hendry. Hendry.
That's the Indiana
has
kid.
a GoFundMe.
Don't they all?
Yeah, no kidding.
And God, man, Craig Hendry is in jail for no freaking reason either. Let's just
Bullshit.
Okay.
They're all in jail for just no
Thanks
reason.
for helping Chille out. Hendry's in jail. Let's see. Live stream. Hopefully they put it in the live
Well, I thought there was
video.
gonna be
Holy
content.
cow. I got to call them today.
Yeah, this guy's
here's
pretty lame.
here's the
So
link.
I guess he's
this
just
is
trying
the link
to.
for Craig Hendry. If you want to
The
help
important
Craig
thing
out,
is he's not
he
trying
needs
to sell the
6,000.
trifolds. So
Right.
how's that? And Colin's saying that that's a huge. Did we lose Rico?
We did. Hang on. Let me see if he's sitting backstage. Hold on.
Okay.
Stay tuned with the trifolds. Brian is an affiliate with Chille with selling trifolds. So let him get his groove, and I guarantee you, the next couple of days he'll be hawking trifolds on there.
Yeah, we lost Rico. He's not in the back
shit.
room. Sorry about that, Rico. If you want to come back, pop in. He probably had something he had to do.
It could be. I've got about just a few minutes left as well, but
there he is.
Yeah, man. Oh, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, he seemed to stress that in the very first call, and Colin's confirmed that for us, that the trifolds represent a shockingly large part of Chille's income. So he's got to keep that train rolling, and he's got a lot of legal debts, and I'm really interested to see what happens with this negligent driving lawsuit.
I'm excited to see what's in the actual complaint of what happened.
Yes.
Here.
We'll get that to y'all as soon as humanly possible.
And the first question is 2 people driving one vehicle, right?
Yeah.
That is interesting. Maybe there was a mouth HUD taking place at the same time that they considered that.
I saw a comment in the chat earlier that said Chille was in the driver's seat holding 2 phones while the other guy was steering. That sounds about right to me.
That does sound about right.
Yeah, we haven't been able to find any video that would, like, I mean, because why would he publish that? But or even anything that's would seem to lead up to that situation. You know what I mean?
Melissa, my dear, yes, you're coming through. Did I miss something, or just in general, do you think you're not coming? You're coming through. Did I miss something? Was there something directed at one of us? Forgive us and allow us a chance to make it good with you. Tried to send 2 super chat. No, and they got canceled. Whoa. No, not the sweet Melissa, not my Dickie Betts girl. We love sweet Melissa. Then I was trying to explain it. Well, I'm sorry, whatever's happening. I apologize. You have anything you want to say? I'll put it up there, okay?
Yep.
And I will look and see if I can see what the problem is behind the scenes, but technicality stuff when it comes to that kind of crap, I'm not that good.
No. Well, guys, this has been fun as shit. Man, he's a fascinating little fucker, isn't he?
Colin, Rico, both of you, anytime. You're welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, just reach out.
The phone calls are a gift from God. They're just comedy gold. So I'm glad we got to listen to them together.
I can't wait for another phone call.
Yeah, no, that was a magical night. But we'll see what the deal is with the phone calls, I guess.
Well, here's the deal. That's what it is.
Now here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I think we all have to take a moment and think the best thoughts and recognize there's somebody in that facility who needs to avail himself of the best mental health facilities and capabilities and training they have for him to get better. And if he doesn't want to do that, then I hope he gets the best lotion and oils they have available in the commissary to make what happens to people who don't have good mental health, because you make an enemy of people in there. It's not fun.
A frightening picture. Indeed.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't have time for that, though, because he's got to open the Chille de Castro AI wing there to train everybody with his kooky spaceman glasses. he doesn't have time to take a much more use his time to go to an actual class that would be useful.
I wonder
In
if
all
he could,
seriousness, I hope he does take, I know he won't, but, I wish he would take advantage of some of the programs there, like the anger management and stuff.
I do too, but
narcissists don't do that kind.
Nope.
Yeah,
even if he were ordered to, I don't know. He needs a lot of help.
Yeah, they need to start. He'd have to go through therapy and work on the narcissism before he could even think about something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't even acknowledge that anything's wrong. That's he don't stop.
But I guarantee you he'll be in that law library and he'll be convincing someone in that jail that he's smarter than everybody else and he's going to help them. And he'll do just like he did with Deborah Rogers, and he'll pile the motion improperly.
Yeah, or Tina.
Or Tina,
fuck their life up.
Steal their coat.
Yeah.
He admitted he was triggered 3 times in court in the environment that you should be your most sedate and calm and relaxed and have your best behavior. And he was triggered 3 times by the most meaningless transactions with the bailiff that should have been nothing. If that doesn't send a message to himself to wake up, forgetting everything else, the fact that he admitted out loud that he was triggered by the bailiff 3 times in the courtroom, that should wake you up.
Yeah, that first part on the phone call, that's about the most honest thing he's ever said to himself,
Yeah, I was like, whoa, did he just, wow. And he actually sort of sounded a little sincere, but nah, he's already back to it.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, the NSA is spying on him. So what are you going to do?
Right. Are we going to watch Flat Dirt?
Yeah, I was gonna play this Flat Dirt just because I had it ready for earlier. May as well play it on the way out.
Nice. All right, guys. Yeah. Wait, is that the same one we watched earlier?
No.
Are you sure?
Your name in here is Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is his prison story. Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I thought it was appropriate.
Let me tell you what happened to me when I was in jail. I was in Twin Towers in LA County for a week, charged with 5 felonies equaling over 20 years in prison.
I was innocent.
I walked into the Twin Tower jail's bunk, and there was maybe 150 men inside of this bunk. A guy walked up to me when I went in there, and a guy ran up to me and said, "Yo, who you with?" He looked at my name, and he said, "Oh, Jose Maria." He said, "You're with us." He said, "Come here, I'll give you a." I had no idea. He walked me over to the bunk. He took my from me, put it on the top bunk, said, "You sleep up here." Then he opened up his hand, and he had 3 packs of peanut butter and an apple, and it was warm. So I didn't drink it, but I was really hungry. And so I ate the peanut butter and the apple because I was starving. And I go and I sit with a group of Mexicans, and they say, "Yo, your name in here is Hollywood." I said, "Excuse me?" And they said, "Your name's not Jose in here. We'll call you Hollywood." I said, "Okay." And they said, "Anything that we ask you to do, we need you to do. And in lieu of that, what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with protection and food." 4 days later, they gave me the tour that morning. You go pee in the pisser, you go poop in the pooper. You don't pee in the pooper. 4 days later, I went to the bathroom and I went pee in the pooper. And so I peed in the pooper and I went back to bed. The same guy called me over and said, "Hey, Hollywood, come over here. We want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." I walked back to the similar area I was last time, but this time all the bunks were put together. And I entered inside of there, and in there was 20 Mexicans in a circle. I sat in the center, and then Shorty said, "Hey, Hollywood, Lil Ray said that he saw you go pee in the shitter last night. Did you go pee in the shitter? We told you you only go pee in the pisser and you go poop in the pooper. You don't pee in the shitter. Did he see you last night peeing inside the pooper?" I probably did. I said, I don't know the rules. I'm not used to it. I didn't know it. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. All 20 Mexicans raised their hands that they knocked my fucking teeth out. And it got back to Shorty. He hadn't voted yet. And he goes, "Hollywood, all these guys want to knock your pretty teeth out of your face. What do you think about that?" La raza, la raza. The Mexicans started chanting. And Shorty says, "Hey, Hollywood, listen, we're going to fight the blacks. But what we need you to do is we need you to go and take out Killer." Killer was the head of the blacks. And at the time, I was 27 years old, and I was just jacked. I mean, my ears were still mangled. I hadn't had surgery yet. So I had surgery on both of my ears to try to get rid of the cauliflower. And Killer starts kicking the metal pole with his shin. Like something out of a freaking Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. He's kicking the pole with his metal. I'm like, pong, pong. I'm talking full-on kicking it. So I'm thinking to myself, I saw him kicking the pole earlier. I know a lot of stuff in fighting, but he's not a wussy. He's not a wussy. I said, okay, shorty. Okay, because if I don't, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're going to stab me like.
Nothing's impossible.
They're going to kill me. And so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. So Shamu comes over to me and he says to me, Hollywood, here's what's going to happen. He said, when you go flying in and you start his lieutenants are going to step to the front and they're going to start you from the side. So when you go into strike and back out. Strike and back out and look to your sides because they're going to be coming in with knives. What have I done here? I indoctrinated to a gang for no reason. I have no idea what's going on here. Shamu tells me that they're going to shank me when I go to fight Killer. I'm laying there. I'm getting ready. I'm mentally preparing that I'm getting. The cops hate me. People hate me. They say I'm too hard. I'm this. I'm too hardcore. You weren't there. You just don't know what I went through unless you did it. You just don't know what that was like. You don't know how bad it was for me. You don't know. It was just, it was scary. It was at that time in my life. I was scared.
I was really scared.
I was terrified of what was going to happen to me. And that's what made me who I am today. That moment of me being a torpedo, the moment of me having, and then Shamu coming over and telling me, they said, you're a torpedo. No, Shorty didn't call me a torpedo. After that meeting with him, then Shamu came over and explained to me that I was Shamu was an accountant. And anyway, it's just,
what?
It was just so hard. It was just so hard. You're more than welcome to be an anarchist, my friend. Forgive me.
None of that is true. I
I'm
highly
on the top
doubt
bunk,
any of that's
looking
actually
over
true.
to Shorty for him to give me right? I'm literally sweating, cascading sweat. I'm cascading sweat. It's hot. Nobody's talking. And I hear, DeCastro! I look up. It's the guard. You made bail. Get your bunk. Let's go.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty much that was pretty much the phone call.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to play
it. Classic Chille. His jail stories are the best.
Ironton Auditor, you're probably already gone, but thanks for being here. Sorry I didn't acknowledge
yeah,
your
Terry.
dinner. Thanks for being here. And Sue Bear, NF Cat. What? Look at all.
Pickaroo, good to see you.
Surrender Monkey.
Navy Girl. Hello.
Yeah, Navy Girl. Spartans.
I saw Navy Tex was in here earlier.
Yeah, Navy Tex was.
Patrick Delague.
Liz.
Bandit 2804. We saw
Body.
Jane Doe. Never
Sweet
mind.
Melissa.
Ronnie and Cat. Liz.
Hey, Terry. Thanks
My
for being here,
brain.
buddy. This was fun as fuck, man. Thanks,
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys. Yeah, thanks you, Rico. Again.
Yes, Rico. Thank you much.
Another home run, buddy.
No problem. I'm dipping. I'm out of here. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank
All
you,
right,
buddy.
Rico.
Anytime, man.
All right, Colin. Thank you, Colin, for coming up and sharing your unique insights and madness is Chille DeCastro.
Hey, Colin, take a second and tell us where you're at on your deal with him, just so the people in the chat kind of know what's going on. Can you sum it up kind of quickly what you're doing with your? Isn't it a protection order or something like that?
Yeah, I just got my final. I went to court yesterday with him. Got my final protection order. He did not show up. The judge granted it to me. There was no attorney, no nothing.
He
for him.
didn't show up yesterday.
No, not even by Zoom.
Not even by Zoom. Did they allow? Are they allowed to do Zoom?
I don't know. I mean, they do have Zoom set up in the courtroom, but whether they could do that from out of state or not, I don't know. But yeah, so he didn't show up. The judge gave it to me, so now I have a protective order against him for the next 6 months, and it can be extended after that, which I plan on doing.
And let's not forget, Chille's got. We'll see how he fares in court this next time too. So I don't know what I was thinking I was going to be able to take a break from making videos about this fucking balloon head. There's no way. It's like,
ladies and gentlemen, I want you
more
to know,
shit going on.
I want you to know that DP stayed up all night yesterday, all night before to get that video done.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why I'm so fucking tired.
Yep.
That was a great video.
Yeah, there's a couple gaffes in there. I guess the Clark County.
Yes, I
it was
forgot about
from
that.
Indiana, not Nevada, but that is which
That's
I'm gonna
minor.
try and clip
I-
that out of the video. But it
I
gives
made
you a
the
pretty
same
good,
mistake.
yeah. It gives you a good idea what Chille's in for.
Yeah, it's
there.
a depiction of what goes on in county jails.
County jail, exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah, thank you guys for watching that one. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed making that one, but I also just passed 5,000 subs this morning. So
Congrats.
thanks
All right.
everybody.
So we need to get on your channel and have a 5,000 sub party.
Yeah, we'll see if we can
Definitely.
make something happen for Thursday. But Ram, thanks, man, for hosting, and Colin, thanks for joining us, and everybody else, thanks for being here.
Later, guys.
Awesome. This was
I
fun.
know you got things to do, DP, and for all of you in the chat that are still hanging, if you want me to, I will. Dickbag's got to go. He's going to sign off, but I will play a video if you want me to.
Later.
And then we'll get out of here. Bye, Dickbag. DP. We'll play DP's video. He doesn't like watching his own video anyway, so let's just play it for the hell of it. Probably already seen it, but it's worth another watch.
Jose Maria Chille de Castro, future governor of Nevada, made himself a guest of the Clark County Clink. Before we get started, someone in one of my community posts suggested we dedicate our celebratory live stream the other day to the late, great Schrodinger's cat, to which I heartily agreed and then utterly failed to do. I know, dickbag move. Sorry about that. So let's remember him right now. I'm quite certain he would get a kick out of all this. Hell, I know I'd be lying if I didn't say it gave me a great deal of joy to watch it happen. In fact, it's made me so happy, I'm going to do something I very rarely do. All right, that's enough of that. Even though this has been thoroughly covered, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't give my take on it. I mean, I've been covering the little pissant's nauseating behavior for over
Bye, Vaughn. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
a year now, so might as well, right? Besides, it really never gets old watching him torture
Bye, Sue Bear. Thank you.
himself. By the way, thanks to our Nevada judges for providing this excellent service and documenting these court proceedings for all of us to laugh at. Be sure to subscribe to them. First of all, again, he looks like shit. He looked bad the day before at his arraignment, and I even remarked on it in my last video, but it's even worse today. He looks like he slept in that suit. Does have a little bit of the Chris Farley in a little coat vibe, and the resemblance to the back of his neck and a pack of hot dogs has not gone unnoticed. I don't even know where to begin with the hair. What do you say to the barber? Give me the beaker, please. I'd like to look like a crazy Muppet.
Can you turn off the phone, please? The one that's in your hand.
Just communicating with my lawyer. He's on his way here now. I'm just waiting for him to get there.
So thanks to Rico, our inside source in the courtroom, who kindly joined us on our live stream the other day, we know Chille was on the phone to his lawyer, Michael Mee. Not because Michael was late, but because he was calling to find out where the hell Chille was. See, they were supposed to meet an hour prior at Michael's office, presumably to go over strategy for the case. Where was Chille? Sitting in the courtroom that whole time, putting his feet on the table and having petty arguments with the bailiff and sergeant about it, when he should have been strategizing with his counsel. Now, let's go back a day to Chille's arraignment for the new arrest for the exact same charges.
And are you planning on hiring an attorney to represent yourself?
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
You will have a standby
Yes.
attorney. Okay.
Because I think that I'm going to win this easy. It's on film, and I wasn't obstructing anybody.
All right.
Two important things here. He says he wants to apply for standby counsel, which means he wants to represent himself, essentially, but also have his lawyer there to bail him out just in case. Secondly, he is quite adamant he will easily walk away from the charges. These two things will be important shortly. And finally, as a
Or the butt wiper, Liz.
general note, Chille really agitated Judge Leung at this hearing until she finally had to admonish him that anything he says could be used against him down the line. I predict it will, as he has shown he can't control himself in front of two prominent Nevada judges.
I'm going to sue everybody involved. I'm going to sue the cops.
So,
I'm going to
Mr.
sue the
Castro,
county.
I appreciate you have an opinion. Today's just the arraignment.
I got you.
Saying all these things, we're
here's-
here
here's
for your
the-
misdemeanor case.
Sure,
Okay?
but there's a bigger issue. There's transparency in the courtroom, which is the best thing that could possibly happen. Now the people get to hear that I'm going to sue Jeffrey and I'm going to sue Matthew and I'm going to sue
So
every one
here's
of
what
those
we're not going
cops.
to do, Mr. DeCastro. This is not going to be a personal pulpit for your, philosophical difference or belief. You have the media here, and that's fine. This is an open court. But I don't want you to start saying things too far extraneous for purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Because that's what we're here for. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm recording everything, and you need to be aware that that's a two-sided thing. You're representing yourself, so I'm having this conversation with you. All these statements that you're saying can also potentially be used against you because you're getting recorded. So just so you understand. So here's what we're going to do. Assuming you're entering a not guilty plea.
Does the misdemeanor carry jail time?
Possibly, yes.
It's possible jail time. So you said a second ago that this is a misdemeanor case as though it's something minor, but I can be put in a dungeon and locked away.
In no way
So that's true.
did I imply that this was minor by saying that it's a misdemeanor.
It's a big deal.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
thanks.
Castro, let's not get off on the wrong foot.
Kind of seems like it might be a little late for that. You wanted to be famous, dummy. Well, guess what? And no, it's not prejudicial for a judge to know just what a douche someone is, particularly not when it's proven to their face by said douche. Okay, back to his trial.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. DeCastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave. I need Mr. DeCastro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that?
Empty your pockets
and give up your phones to the judge.
I have to give you my phones?
Yeah.
My phones have to be completely off.
Yep. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So
You already are.
great.
You already are.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna get into this guy though. I'm getting someone else.
No, they're gonna go to my marshal.
He's a pig.
Excuse me?
I said he's a pig.
Okay. So I'm not gonna permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner. And if you don't want to apologize, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason, started telling me what to do.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason, started telling me what to do.
What a crybaby. And it was for a good reason, Chille. Didn't you learn any manners? Any respect growing up? Putting your feet on the furniture in a courthouse? You call these cops pigs, but you behave like a swine, Chille. You are a real pig.
Okay, well,
I have all the respect and love for the court. I follow the rule of law all the time.
no, it is their job to maintain the safety and security of the court.
I agree with you, Your Honor.
Oh, clearly.
If you want to speak like that in my courtroom, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. And if I hold you in contempt, you're going to jail. That is not my wish. Okay?
I wish you would.
All right. So I need you to empty your pockets too. Suit pocket, pants pocket.
This is illegal. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I don't have any recording devices on me. What are you talking about?
How about suit jacket?
I don't have anything on me. This is preposterous.
No, it's
This really
not.
is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Me, your phone too.
They're recording everything.
They have a media request.
Correct, and I'm not recording anything. Your guy here took my phone, so his phone's not on.
And we start with a bang. Now, how bad do you think Michael Mee is regretting his decision to take him on as a client right now? Chille has to try and show everyone who's boss and lay the groundwork for his real agenda here. which is, of course, to pretend to be the smartest, toughest guy in the room for the cameras. The judge is gonna let him know otherwise. I also gotta say that I love that it's 2 strong female judges that Chille has drawn so far. That's gotta eat at him, the misogynistic little creep.
I have your request to convert counsel to standby counsel. I'm gonna deny that request. Either you represent him or he should have previously requested a Beretta canvas to represent himself. That I just consider that a delay tactic, so that request is denied.
Okay, so at his arraignment, we discovered Chille is really counting on being able to use this standby lawyer approach. Neither he nor me, it seems, were counting on it being shot down here. This, to me, explains why Michael Me, by all accounts an experienced trial lawyer, seemed at times to be barefacing his way through the proceedings. There was no game plan. And of course, Chille missed the pre-trial chance to strategize. Me tried his best to press the First Amendment argument, but the prosecutor wisely kept the focus on the officer safety argument, which was a smart play in my estimation. We won't go through Officer Bork's testimony in the interest of time, but suffice it to say that the body cam footage and Bork's testimony were enough to prove Chille's guilt in the end. Now, if Chille had been granted the right to standby counsel, he would have been the one cross-examining Bork, and then we would have had ourselves an even bigger circus. Can you even imagine that? So the only other witness was Chille himself. Now, I'm assuming that they had originally planned for this to happen, even if standby counsel had been granted. Chille wouldn't be able to cross-examine himself on the stand.
Good night, Liz. Thank you.
Although, given the chance, he probably would. Of course, Chille also couldn't resist turning the whole thing into a commercial for himself.
I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002.
Objection at this point, relevance,
Well, this is the British Freedom Member of the Press.
this narrative.
I don't think speaking in tongues is going to help you, buddy. Was that a synaptic misfire, or is Chille going for an insanity defense?
Can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. What type of films do you make for your YouTube channel?
I only film police in their official capacity. I'm known across the country and across the world.
So is herpes. Big deal.
And why do you engage in that type of film?
So I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Need to direct your questions about the incident in question.
The reason I was filming Mr. Bork that day.
Objection, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
there wasn't a question posed, so
Oh,
I'll hear what it is.
Mr. DeCastro, on dating question, why did you approach that vehicle?
I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I am a member of the press and I invoked my right to be press. I always invoke my right to be press within the first 10 seconds of engaging with police. And I have thousands of videos to prove this.
So this is how you make money.
This is not how specifically I make money.
Yeah, do keep filming those cops, folks. I actually ended up here, excuse me, by way of cop watching, and I have nothing against it whatsoever. But I've watched an awful lot of cop watching videos where there was never an interaction, never a disruption, never a question, never an approach. So like anything else, if it's done right, I support it. And I support cop watching. I think we have to keep things on the up and up, and that's the way you do it. And that's the way the Constitution was written the way it was. But there is a line, and Chille is one of the best at crossing that line.
Whoa. Hold the phone. Objection. Chille had a phone call from jail 1 day ago with Brian from Here's the Deal, which I assume is short for Here's the Deal. I don't know shit. On that call, which was primarily begging his followers for money, Chille admitted that his business is predicated on him going live every day to sell his trifolds. Not to mention he gets super chats and he plays his own audit videos on those streams as well.
Yeah, Jay, we all know that we can thank YouTube for the evolution of all this. I mean, they created a system that rewarded confrontation and stuff like that. And not so much YouTube. I mean, they create their followers, and their followers, we all know how strong and big it is. And they could all end tomorrow. We know that if they just put a stop to it. But you know what? It's kind of a fun ride. I enjoy I enjoy doing this. So as long as they're doing that, we're going to keep doing this.
To mention every video on his channel that can possibly be monetized is monetized. Sounds like you're making money off of your videos to me, Chille. It also sounds like perjury.
I make money from selling legal documents to people.
Okay, go ahead.
Objection, legal documents, the 5A card and the trifold. Yeah, right.
Did you at any point attempt to hit any of the officers involved?
No, absolutely not.
Did you intentionally swat any of the officers?
Absolutely not. He was giving me unlawful commands. I should not have been detained after identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me, I wrestle and teach MMA, and I have for 30 years. So it's just a natural reaction as I'm retreating from somebody.
Well said, Navy girl. You're absolutely right. I stumbled into this genre 11 years on YouTube, and we all started somewhere, filming your dog's mating in the backyard or whatever it is that got you started, and made my way through cop watching and then Schrodinger's cat. That was my exposure to all this, and spent some time in the flat earth world watching those creeps. And that's really the only flat earthers and frauditors. They're the two subject matters on YouTube where there's a counter, a constant counter, the anti-frauditors and guys like Schrodinger. The flat earth's still going on. It's not near as strong as it used to be, but this frauditor anti-frauditor thing. And I've kind of gotten away with it a little bit on my videos because I love the arrest videos and the backseat headbangers and stuff, because every one of them has similar content, but every one of them's different. It's just watching a generation of entitled, intoxicated 22-year-olds. Well, I take that back. 67-year-old was the one I did yesterday or so. I don't know. I lose track of time. But yeah, I miss Schrodinger too. Just such a great place to go. That's where I discovered so many. I kind of knew Mark Stout prior to that. Mark had his legalized drugs, and the way I stumbled across that was I saw a YouTube channel called Legalized Drugs. How do you not check it out? I mean, how do you not go see what it's all about? But everything that transpired with him and Schrodinger, and then Kick, convincing Mark, to see him turn that leaf. And I'm good friends with Mark. I admire the hell out of him. I kind of miss him. I wish he'd get his butt back on YouTube, but he'll be back. Yeah, that's how I got here. And Frauditor Troll was a new upstart, and I followed him closely because I was just so impressed with his editing skills and stuff. I think he came out of the gaming community, so he was a little seasoned before he got here, and was always impressed with his video editing and followed him for a while. And Michael Kaiser was actually the one that broke all that up. It was because when Kaiser showed up is when I bailed out of there. Oh, anyway, all right, we'll get back. Everybody's seen this. We'll get back to it. It is hilarious. So DP is the best. And Dickbag, I know you're probably listening. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate everything. Say hello to the missus, and hopefully we can have you a 5,000 sub party maybe this week if you can get caught up on stuff. Show was my first time on YouTube. Team Skeptic, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was I was pretty close to him. I was a member of his channel when Irish Demon came over for the Glen Serio thing. That kind of turned out to be a debacle, but yeah, I admire him too. I still pop over and watch some of his stuff. Who did Navy Techs? Oh, now we got some chat going. Forget the video. Oh yeah, Team Skeptic. Yeah. Hey, good man, good fair guy. I know that I leaned on him a couple times when I first started making videos for some advice, and he was always real good about getting back with me. Anyway, all right, let me play this out and we'll be here all night.
If I may have put my hand up, as he testified himself, I certainly am a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law. So I would not have tried to assault an officer under any circumstances.
All right, Mr. DeCastro, please stand. The problem with the argument that your attorney makes is it completely fails to consider the safety of the officer and the safety of the driver. The officer doesn't know who you are, and the driver doesn't know who you are. You don't have any right to interfere with that officer doing his investigation and deciding if he wants to issue a ticket to this driver. And you also don't have any.
Yeah, you're right, Navy girl. And in my library, I have a series of videos that address bad police work. I don't do too much of it because it seems to piss certain people off. But yeah, if you go in my library and look back about not quite, maybe 9 months ago or so, I did a series in Colorado because they had a string of unfortunate incidents with law enforcement. Karen, what's her name? And then the guy that got tased in his apartment building, and the Loveland cop that shot that dog, which really pissed me off. Yeah, there's some stuff there. And I did a series on 911 calls gone bad too. I like doing different stuff, but you're right. Absolutely 100%. People like him that create the conflict for the clicks and the views. Sorry, I get reading these chats because it's been a really good chat tonight. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. It was a good chat tonight. Yep, I agree, Bandit. Very well said. Yes, good cops do need support. All right, let's finish this thing up.
Any business approaching the driver. The driver didn't ask you for help. The driver didn't say, help, you know. You didn't see an altercation happening between the officer and this driver. The officer didn't protest that you were filming. There's no problem with filming. You can film, it's fine. All right? But you did interfere with his investigation. You did interfere with his ability to do his job. You did put him in a position where he is concerned for his safety and the safety of the driver. So I believe the state's met their burden beyond reasonable doubt. I'm going to find you guilty of obstructing a public officer and resisting a public officer.
So Chille has been found guilty of both charges. What strategy-wise would be the smart next play here?
I don't think there's any intent from the defendant to engage in any wrongdoing in this case, Your Honor. And that being the case, especially because of the public policy interests at issue.
So when you say he doesn't wish to engage in any wrongdoing, it seems to me from observing him in the video that he wants this. He wants to get arrested. He wants to get into an altercation with police officers. He welcomes this. This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers who
Got
were
his number.
today pigs. He called and he's nodding his head up and down. So apparently he hates every law enforcement officer in the United States. All right, please stand up, sir. Are you finished with your request for credit for time, sir?
I would just emphasize, Your Honor, that
He smells it.
Boy, you can hear the gears turning. Michael knows what's coming, and he's just looking for any way to lessen the blow. He's in a tough spot.
the defendant testified and he sincerely believes that he is providing a public service.
Yeah, well, I believe I'm providing a public service by putting on a Batman costume and patrolling the roof of my apartment building at night. That doesn't make me Batman.
When he refused and films these incidents. I understand the court may have a different view of that, but
You think so?
when we're talking about First Amendment public policy issues such as supervising people involved in government, I think that is something the court can take into consideration, not have a chilling effect on that. I'll spit on it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. DeCastro, please stand. I hereby sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 180 days in custody. Thank you.
All you people doubting if Chille did this to himself, there's your proof. Now here's the part which earns the Honorable Ann Zimmerman an instant spot on the Dickbag Patrol Wall of Fame.
Sentence suspended or?
Oh no, I'm going to start right now.
If a guilty party shows no remorse for their crime and in fact flagrantly shows the opposite in front of the judge, that will absolutely influence the sentence. Chille, for once, faced a punishment commensurate with his actions. And again, make no mistake, he brought this all on himself. Now, what's really great about this last part, aside from Chille being so clearly gut-punched that he can only manage a meager...
Justice.
is that this bailiff is the court officer Chille has been antagonizing since the very start. That's right, the one he agitated by putting his feet on the furniture and referred to as a pig is the one who gets to lead him out in shiny, shiny torture cuffs. And finally, we come to the part I've been really looking forward to, which is to add this music to his final walk of shame. The funniest part of this whole thing is that they offered a plea deal of a small fine and counseling, and Chille refused. Remember what he said at his arraignment?
Because I think that I'm going to win this easy. It's on film, and I wasn't obstructing anybody.
As Chille was clearly planning to walk away from this, he had no contingency plan for his channel being unmanned by him for 6 months. So what happens now? Looks like I'm stuck making videos of this fool for a little while longer anyway. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. One thing's for sure, Chille can't be having much fun. Suffice to say, Clark County is no joke. If you want a taste of his environment, just check out this video from the A&E show 60 Days In, which is an undercover look into America's roughest correctional facilities. I can't play it here for copyright reasons, but you should definitely check it out, link in description. Oh, before I forget, some of you were asking how AI Chille is taking the news. Remember a couple of videos ago, I said he seemed like he was getting testy lately, and I wanted to do something nice for the little guy? Well, as a thank you for all his hard work, I sent him on a virtual vacation. Here's a photo of himself he sent, along with a message for the real Chille.
Dear Chille, old boy buddy, I heard the news. 6 months. That's pretty rough. I hope you take your vacation time, so to speak, to reflect on what led you here and perhaps finally take some responsibility for your actions. Please see if you can request mental health services while you're in there. I really think it could help you become a better person. Anyways, good luck, pal. And whatever you do, take care of your butthole.
I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. You want to do it in my butt?
Oh, DP, you're a genius. Yeah. All right, boys and girls. It has been a blast. I appreciate all of you, Surrender Monkey. Lots of good comments. Navy Tech's good to see you. Johnny Bonilla, through the whole court proceedings, the lawyer had, let me see what this says. Cross his arms when talking disrespectful, not professional. Yeah, and I did see that comment made several times. You know, if you act with civility, life is so much easier, especially when you're in a place of authority. It is what it is. You may not always agree with it, but civility is the way to go. Respect. That's the one thing I like about those headbanger videos and stuff with this younger generation. There's such a sense of entitlement and lack of respect. You know, and I mean, I hate to sound this way because it's what your parents said and their parents said and everybody else, you know, the generation coming up, they just don't, you know, but dude, I can tell you this, I get the shit knocked out of me if I would act toward someone with authority the way law enforcement's treated. It blows my mind how patient most of these cops are. And I see that comment all the time in my videos. Man, that cop was so patient. Yeah, it almost doesn't take an authoritarian to be a cop anymore. It almost takes to being a psychologist. It's control. Danny. Somebody said something about Danny not having a wrench. I think, Linda, didn't Danny have a wrench before my channel got deleted? I had a problem. I had a major screw up right around Christmas with YouTube, and my entire channel got deleted. And it took me a couple of weeks to get it back up and put back together. And I thought Danny did have a wrench at one time here. I don't give them out. There's only a couple people that have them because DP and I both decided you have a couple that you know and communicate with outside of the chat. Yeah, maybe not. It was somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but somebody, because I couldn't recall who all. But there's only 3 wrenches out there, and Linda's so good at what she does. She's always there, even when she's having a tough go of it. She's watching it from around the corner. She does a great job, and because I do have communication, it helps in this thing. I don't even like the term wrench. I like the term moderator. So, and I don't think we've ever, one person I think is blocked, and that was that stupid, what's his name up there in New York that kept crashing the live chat. And I just got tired of him. Bats are better. DP. It was Gia. Yeah, I think it was. Maybe it was Gia. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was Gia. Yes, Yvonne. Love you too. Good night. Peace over in the UK. Thank you for staying up with us. It's almost morning for her. All right, people. Thank you, DP, again. We'll see if we can't get a 5,000 sub party going for DP sometime here real quick, and see if we can't get some more fun material to have a blast with. I had a great time, enjoyed it, and I hope you all enjoyed it. It was good to see a lot of you that I hadn't seen in a while. Chat keeps going. I won't want to sign off. Yeah, you better. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll try to get a hold of AI Chille. I know he's on vacation. I might be able to strap a note to a pigeon, and maybe I can get AI Chille to come up with some kind of a good idea for a 5,000 sub party for you. The price we pay for a chuckle, I guess, or in the monkey. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. It's good to see you over here. I see you all over the place. So I'm watching you from the bushes. Danny makes good comments. Kisker. Danny. Oh, you know me all too well. It's real easy to get me to go to 4 o'clock in the morning. It wouldn't be the first time, but it isn't going to happen tonight because I too haven't had much rest in the last couple of days. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I hear you, Linda. No, I do remember all that. I think that it was the Gutterman. It was when Jason sprayed that guy up in Truckee, and we were doing some follow-up videos, and there were some pictures that popped up around, and it was a picture of him and Ben in the swimming pool. And there was some kind of a comment, but those of you that know me know that that's a part of this thing. One of my best friends I lost in 1990. I was trying to remember the other night, 93 or 94. And also have family members that are gay. So, yeah, farthest thing from the truth. And what cracks me up, DP and I were talking about this the other day. I've been to a lot of bars, drag shows, and stuff like that, and their sense of humor about things like that is fantastic. It's generally those from the outside looking in that take offense to the things that they don't take offense to. It's crazy. Okay, that's enough of that. Gutterman, yeah. Jason Gutterman. You know what? Things kind of quieted down after, there was Truckee, and then he had a little incident in New Mexico, I think it was. And then I kind of expected him to, I think he went down into Texas maybe. But yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot. Of course, I haven't gone, and I don't bother until he gets the pepper spray. When he gets the pepper spray out, then he's got my attention. Because I don't think a grown man should be spewing pepper spray into a woman's face or a grown man's face, as far as that goes. Shows you how much of a weakling he is. All right, boys and girls. Night, DP. Thank you. Patrick, Linda, of course. Love you. Thank you. Danny, Kisker, Jay Elkins, Devin, 57. Who else is up there? There's a bunch in the bushes. All right, everybody, appreciate it. We'll put a post up. We'll get DP a 5,000 sub party going here real soon. Until the next time, I'm Proud to Ram. I'll be gone. I got a cramp.